assist.
He didn't need an assist. This is a man that's still injured.
Well, this was a man that orchestrated an attack on Liger Rivera and TJ Perkins earlier on here tonight. I think Montevega got a little bit of what he deserved, if you ask me.
I don't think so.
But regardless, all of these competitors want a shot at the EWF Heavyweight Championship. That's what this Inland Title Series Battle Royal is all about. Oh no, wait a minute, David E. Jones looks like he's going to be the next in line to be eliminated.
He definitely ain't getting it. Woo! Look who's here. Woo! Look, he's tired. He had a long match.
Man, good hustle.
You're all right?
I was just telling him how unfair I thought that was. You were willing to walk out and Liger goes and throws you out.
It was Liger Rivera.
It was Liger.
Oh.
That's a little embarrassing, huh?
Words and unpleasantries will be exchanged, I assure you, at a later time. But Pena, call the match. That's what you do. I need some water or something.
I was going to say we should get him some water as I try to go explain the rules of this Inland Title Series. Wait a minute, I'm trying to get some words in, but we keep having wrestlers get eliminated. The action is happening so fast in this type of a matchup, which happens in Battle Royals.
You know what I'm surprised is Bruiser Davis still in this match.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? This is way past this time limit.
Oh no, wait a minute, Shane Hayes. I thought Shane Hayes was going to be eliminated by Dave the Bruiser.
I think this is the longest match Dave the Bruiser's been a part of.
Now, Kubrick, if my memory serves me correct, a year or two ago, you won this very match right here. Tell me, what strategy do you take going into a Battle Royal like this?
My strategy was perfectly simple. Stay away from everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I did that. Oh, no!
Ryan Taylor have been eliminated.
Well, it's official now that KOS has been eliminated from this Battle Royal. Well, that is, of course, if Joey Ryan has not been made an official member of the KOS. He's still in this. Oh, wait a minute.
Still in this. Why isn't Riley in this?
Ladies and gentlemen,
She should be in it.
Michael has been eliminated.
Of course, she'd be the only girl in it, but I think she would have done well.
Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure we have another woman in this matchup.
Hey, I'm not talking about TJ Perkins, okay?
I wasn't talking about TJ Perkins either.
Oh, you're talking about Chris Cadillac. Just because he's built like a woman doesn't make him one.
Oh, wait a minute.
Zero Gravity, Chris Cadillac, and Dave the Bruiser have been eliminated.
Oh, there you go. I thought I felt a tremor. Dave the Bruiser got thrown out.
I just want to say, for the record, for the EWF rulebook, Ryan Taylor is going thrown out of the Battle Royal. I told them to toss me out to avoid any further beatings. See, I just suffered a 25-minute long match. 25 minutes.
Like me.
This is what? A 25-minute match? I don't need to be in that Battle Royal to prove anything. I have my gold. I don't need anything from Black Metal.
Tell Taylor.
What do you say about Black Metal?
I'll meet you in the back.
Right now, Black Metal is our reigning EWF Heavyweight Champion. At the moment, he still has to defend the title here tonight.
What does Ryan Taylor care about Black Metal? He's the American champion. That's all that matters to him right now.
Champion of America.
All of it.
I changed the name.
John McConnell has been eliminated.
There you go. Break TJ's ribs, please, for God's sakes.
I'm curious, what do you have against Famous or Fearless? Earlier, you had your boys come out and not only attack Liger Rivera, but as well as TJ Perkins.
Oh, look at that. Oh, did you see that? Oh, my God. I'm avoiding that question. Wow, look at that. You see that action? What action?
Yeah, I saw you were avoiding the question. Doing a very good job of it.
He doesn't have to answer anything he doesn't want to, okay?
Oh!
Joey Ryan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Ryan has been eliminated. As well as Shane Hayes.
Well, the numbers are
I
definitely
don't like Shane
dwindling
Pace
here.
either. Whoa!
There goes another Rock above.
Well, you still
That's a
have
silly
it.
name, right?
Yeah, ridiculous.
It's almost as bad as the show.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sorry, Larry.
As bad as the show, as bad as Anarchy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Has been
Wait a minute.
eliminated.
Who invited Willie Mack to the party?
I didn't even know.
Oh, look at Jaeger.
It's
Amazing.
It's an open invitational Battle Royal. And oh, wait a minute.
There goes Brett Michaels.
They're in one of the Young Bucks. Oh, no, wait. Who the hell was that?
Has been eliminated.
Well, let's go over who's still left in this matchup. We still have Willie Mack.
Cutler has been
Oh, wait a minute.
eliminated.
Sweet trainer.
There goes my personal trainer over the top rope.
Oh, well,
Hopefully he's not hurt. He's got to get me in shape
More time to train you then.
for my big title match.
Now, what is the deal with Shrex?
You know I'm replacing Scorpio Sky in the
I heard that.
triple threat ladder match,
I'm
right?
glad for you.
I'm gonna win both championships.
That would be something.
History, son, history.
Well, the numbers are still trying to dwindle down. We're trying to get to our final 5 participants from this Battle Royal, as they will be part of the Inland Title Series Battle Tournament.
Did you hear that I also ended Scorpio Sky's career?
Really?
I did
You've
it.
ended I've ended careers.
I did it.
That's awesome. We have a lot in common.
Bino Gambino, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry about that comment earlier. We have a lot more common than I thought.
Hey.
Oh, there goes Willie Mack. There goes that milk dud. Later, dude.
Eliminated.
But T-Rex. What's the deal with T-Rex?
Terex is a piece of garbage. That's what the deal is.
Yeah, I really
He's
don't like him.
ungrateful. He doesn't appreciate what whoa, big super kick.
Yeah! Oh, thank goodness!
Eliminated.
I can sleep at night now. Oh, wait a minute.
We're down to, looks like our final 5 here.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the final 5 men in the Inland Title Series Battle Royal. The last 4 eliminations will be in the Inland Title Series Round Robin Tournament.
Pop quiz, Colbrick.
Your final 5 are
Pick me a winner right now between these 5.
Johnny Paradise, Slick Nick Jackson, Mr. Instant Replay Matt Jackson,
If all of them ever shut up.
of Pain, Terrence.
You know, I'm gonna go with Jeremy Yeager.
Yeah, I like the
Cruiserweight champion.
Bye-bye.
Oh, no, wait a minute. They're doing the best thing they can do right now, is try to eliminate the larger man.
Oh, the old Andre the Giant strategy, but it didn't work there.
Wait a minute, the Bucks trying to charge after Terex, and he just took them both down with a pair of clotheslines. Takes down Jeremy Yeager. Paradise stepped out of the way. Oh, wait a minute. Tried to nail him with the lariat. Terex won't budge.
You know, are you gonna do something about him, Colbrick?
I tried. Last month, I freaking almost broke his leg in half with a steel chair, but the piece of garbage still standing, as you can see.
I need my revanche on him. I mean, he's the one that put me on the shelf for 6 months.
That's true. Maybe we should go down there right now
That'd be interesting.
and handle this. We could do it. I mean, you're the king of the streets.
My goof's getting pretty big.
Wait a minute, Johnny Paradise managing to get out of the box.
There he goes. Come on, get him out of there.
Eliminate him, please.
And the Bucks finally knocked down Terex with a pair of drop kicks. Jeremy Yeager,
Yeager, what are you thinking?
he's going up to the top rope. I think he's going to try to drop the shot onto Terex, and he does.
That's what he gets for being a big fat target, am I right? Oh no!
Wait a minute. Jeremy Yeager was just eliminated.
Good thing I didn't bet any money on that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, a pair of back elbows by the Young Bucks.
Yeager has been eliminated.
You have to say that the advantage goes to the Young Bucks. They are a tag team, and they're the only team in the match right now.
Couple pretty boys, but they know how to go in the ring.
Oh no, wait a minute. Matt Jackson inadvertently just knocked out his partner.
Oh, what?
Terex is still in there.
Come on, Paradise, man up! Oh!
Well, it's going to be hard to man up after a sidewalk slam like that.
That's actually a spine buster, Larry.
Well,
Get the program.
He nailed him so hard I was able to screw up the name.
Ah, damn it!
And Terex has just won the Inland Title Series Battle Royal.
And look at this. Look at this idiot Pino.
Seriously, like, I keep putting him down, but he keeps getting back up. It's like a cockroach.
He's got a bag of chips in his hand. How professional is that?
The bottom line is that Terex has just earned a right to face our EWF Heavyweight Champion, whoever it will be.
Why is he talking, Larry?
What a waste of space Vito Gambino is.
I think he's trying to inform who our other components are for the Inland Title Series round robin. It is main event time at the Knights of Columbus Hall for Bloodlust 4. The EWF Heavyweight Championship on the line as 2 super heavyweights of the Empire Wrestling Federation square off for the championship. Terex the challenger and Black Metal the champion.
Well, that's right. Terex earning his title shot by winning the Inland Title Series Battle Royal at Anarchy 2008. And of course, we all know that Black Metal became the champion at Vendetta 2 on October 11th, defeating Brandon Nitro Gadsden in what many people are calling an upset, Larry.
Well, definitely that matchup. A lot of people, a lot of questioning that the outcome of that matchup. Black Metal walking away as the heavyweight champion. This man has definitely all the tools in the world to become a champion, and he proved it at Flirting with Disaster when he defeated Brandon Gatson for the championship.
Well, you know, we're also not taking anything away from Terex either. Terex, since splitting with Dan the Man Kobrick, has become a monster in himself. I mean, look at him. Brand new shorts, a new look to him, a new confidence. Look at him. He's got a new swagger, too. You were talking about Ryan Taylor and his swagger. Let's not take anything away from
Terex. About his
Terex.
new look, he's still wearing a T-shirt in the ring. I thought that kid was kicked out of here.
What are you talking about?
A little kid who used to wear a T-shirt in the ring. I didn't like him very much.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, good.
Well, nonetheless, Terex eliminating 20 or so wrestlers from the Invitational Battle Royal for the Inland Title Series, which kicked off the Inland Title Series. And out of all those competitors, he was the last man standing. And there was one point in the Battle Royal where he was having 7 or 8 other competitors all at the same time, trying to muscle him over the top rope to eliminate him, but none of them could get the job done.
There's no denying Terex's size and his ability. The fact to me is that I still remember him costing Joey Ryan that EWF championship on more than one occasion. I remember him kicking me square in my face, standing at ringside just trying to do my job. You know, I can't stand this guy. I can't stand his new attitude. His new look is just as bad, and I just hope Black Metal rips his head off and gets it over with.
Well, that's still no small task for Black Metal. I mean, you're talking about Terex weighing 385 pounds.
Forget to put the other foot on?
Well, the definition
That's
of
coming from me.
Well, the definition of pain is what he is actually called by other people here. And look at this, actually some different wrestling.
That was what he was called by Dan Kobrick. Dan Kobrick trademarked that. Terex can't use that anymore.
Big shoulder block back down, and a second one out of the heavyweight champion. I've never seen Black Metal get mauled like the way he has by Terex. Terex just mowing him down, and that sends Black Metal, 6'6", 320 pounds, out of the ring.
There's no denying that size-wise, no one else in the EWF, with the perhaps exception of Country Bear, can match Black Metal when it comes to size and strength. But when it comes to ability, I'm sorry, Terex nowhere near the skill level of the luchador. I mean, he's not just a wrestler, he's been trained in the lucha style. That means it doesn't matter to him, because that's what lucha is. It doesn't matter, you just go out there and do whatever you want.
Well, Lucha Libre actually literally translating into a free fight, if I'm not mistaken, correct, Larry?
That is correct, that's a loose translation for it.
Thank you very much. I know a little bit of Spanish here and there.
See?
Well, like you said, the luchador, the lucha style, very, very unorthodox compared to those of us who are used to traditional professional wrestling. And you see right now Black Metal using a lot of that amateur wrestling and some looks like a nice arm lock. And then you see Terex now shooting him off the ropes.
Look at a substitute flip by Black Metal trying to take down the monster. But Terex grabbing him by the mask and now picking him right back up and delivers a vicious headbutt.
Let's be honest here, Terex is a pure brawler. He's not very technically gifted. He's never needed to be. But when it comes right down to it, a luchador will beat a brawler any day of the week. If that brawler can't do anything other than brawl, he's in for a hard time.
Well, an inverted atomic drop on the part of Terex, and now a clothesline sends Black Metal up and over the top.
Disqualification. Why are the referees continually allowing these things? I know that it's their discretion to say if it was simply momentum that took him over. It's supposed to be designed to stop people from simply chucking a wrestler over the top rope, but that still should be a disqualification right there.
That's only because Terex did it. I bet if Black Metal did it, it wouldn't be a disqualification.
When Black Metal did it, it would be funny.
Oh no, wait a minute, Black Metal may get his chance now as he cut off Terex as he was trying to come back into the ring. Black Metal now sending Terex into the ropes, ducks his head. Oh, but wait a minute, Terex catching him and planting him in the center of the ring.
Both of these guys have made that cardinal mistake of putting your head down too soon.
Had him
No, he kicked the inner thigh.
Oh, short arm clothesline. Big knockdown by the heavyweight champion, taking too much time away from Terex as he goes for the cover now, hooks the leg.
The real question is, did you guys see the ring move on that?
Oh, I could see the ring shaking just as they're standing in the ring right now, let alone taking the impacts from both Black Metal and Terex.
Well, look at every single time that Terex's Irish ripped off those ropes. That ring shifts a good inch to an inch and a half with every bit of momentum that he has.
Well, I got to say here, plus Terex has been thrown a little bit off his game plan. He is not used to being in there with somebody who actually can Irish whip him. He's used to people trying and failing, but never actually succeeding. So Terek's being thrown a little bit off his game, I would have to say, and that's why Black Metal's in the advantage right now.
We saw Black Metal threatening our referee, Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee already suffering a little bit of injustice at the hands of Wildcat Jason Watts.
Oh, it wasn't injustice, it was funny.
Well, there's
If it's funny, it's okay.
Oh, the clothesline from OC knocking down Terex as he was coming out of the corner. And again, Black Metal taking too much time away from the challenger.
Oh, there's that lucha training. You go to the crowd. That's the part of lucha that I can't understand, is why they care so much about what the people think.
There's a cover. And again, Terex kicks out before the 3 one more time.
I understand how big his legs are, but you still have to try and hook them at least. Oh, there you go.
Has him in that trapezius lock now. Trying to tie up the muscles. Trying to tie up the muscles into the shoulder now.
I did not know he was Vulcan.
And now wait a minute, Terex may be going out here. Christopher Lee checking on to see if Terex wants to give it up.
How embarrassing would this be for Terex if he just got straight up knocked out in the middle of the ring?
Well, Terex now working his way back up. An elbow to the gut, followed up by a headbutt, followed up by another headbutt, followed up by another, a trifecta. Now Terex off the ropes. Oh, and a drop toe hold. And now look at it.
Oh, that's it. Was he tapping there? He's got that leg. He's got that knee. He's taking it out. This could be it.
Look at his vicious assault onto the leg of Terex across the knee. Now Terex, you gotta believe, is handicapped now to the point where he may not be able to stand, may not be able to hold that 380 plus pound frame of his.
Well, let me go back a second. You know, despite rumors and despite what it may look like, Terex isn't actually Samoan. I don't know why he was throwing so many headbutts at a man who's bigger than him. You really only want to throw headbutts if you have the leverage advantage.
Which means if you're Samoan or Australian.
Well, yeah.
Because of course, according to Vanderpile, they have the world's hardest heads.
Well, that's just when you try to talk to him.
Look at this Black Metal again continuing to assault. Terex trying to get back up onto his feet. Now Black Metal infuriated with the referee saying, hey, back off, let me do my job.
He's threatening to disqualify him, and Black Metal's basically saying, who cares, I'll still be the champ.
Well, that is true. The title cannot change hands on a count out or disqualification. Terex is in an all-to-win situation. He has to beat Black Metal by submission or by pinfall if he wants to walk away with the heavyweight championship. But at this rate, he may not even be able to walk out of the Knights of Columbus.
Well, he's just been dragging himself all over the ring because he can't get any weight on that bad knee of his. You see him now finally getting back up, but look at it. No weight being put on that.
If Terex was smart, which he's not, he'd have given up already and lived to fight another day. He's already had his leg taken out.
Big spine buster slam by Terex. And this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him to become the heavyweight champion. Just scooped and slammed our heavyweight champion. Terex now coming off the ropes. Oh, nails him with a headbutt.
I'm kind of surprised he went for the headbutt instead of that big splash I've seen him put so many people away with.
There's a cover. And he only gets a 3 count. Well, normally it would have been the big splash, but you gotta believe all the pressure, all the attack going on to the knee. He could not get the proper jump. He could not get the proper force to land the splash, and instead having to land the headbutt.
Well, you know what I said about how he shouldn't have headbutted earlier? That was, though, the perfect opportunity because he did have absolute leverage advantage with the other man laying vertical on his back.
Look at this, trying to charge in for the avalanche splash, but again, Black Metal coming out of the corner and knocks him down again with another short arm clothesline.
Terex nowhere near fast enough with that hurt knee. Big mistake there, and that could cost him this championship.
Well, Black Metal says that is it. This is going to be it for Terex. It is over now.
Now, hang on. If Terex wins, are they going to have to get a bigger belt?
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Look at this. Black Metal trying to go for a splash in the corner, but Terex moved out of the way. Terex hobbling on one leg, picking up Black Metal over his shoulder. Trying to go for the Samoan drop, but Black Metal getting out of the way, scoops him up. Michinoku driver. That's got to be it. Hooks the leg 1, 2, and 3.
Absolutely incredible. Like I said, the good luchador will beat the good brawler any day because that's all the brawler knows.
EWF Heavyweight Champion, Black Metal!
Black Metal retaining the EWF Heavyweight championship against the winner of the Inland Title Series Battle Royal. But his quest to hold on to the championship will be far from over.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your champion, Black Metal!
Well, this, ladies and gentlemen, marks the beginning of the Inland Title Series Round Robin Series. This is a round one matchup featuring one half of the Young Bucks, Slick Nick Jackson, going up against one half of Midnight Dynamite, Johnny Paradise.
Well, of course, and you know what, Larry? We are joined by none other than one of the other qualifiers in the Inland Title Series, our Cruiserweight champion himself, top shelf, Jeremy Yeager.
That's right. And when I win the Inland Title Series and win the EWF Heavyweight Championship, I'm going to be the double champion of the EWF.
The double champion.
The double cruiser and heavy, bro.
You know what? That's not unprecedented because Scott lost. Double champion in AWS.
That is correct.
Speaking of AWS, these guys, former AWS tag team champions, so no strangers to each other. And I got to tell you, an interesting set of people got qualified for the Inland Title Series. I mean, of course, we know Jeremy Yeager, not taking nothing away from you.
You better not be taking anything away from me.
No, not at all. I mean, just over a year, Rookie of the Year and Cruiserweight champion.
Darn right.
And then we have Slick Nick and Matt Jackson. Congratulations to Mr. Matt Jackson, by the way, celebrating his honeymoon as we speak. The Young Bucks, world-renowned tag team specialists, now getting their first shot at some real singles competition, going against each other in this Inland Title Series, as well as Johnny Paradise. Honestly, in my opinion, the dark horse.
Well, definitely a lot of people would say that Johnny Paradise has been overlooked in his career, in his pro wrestling career. But nonetheless, here is his chance. This is the chance for all four of these competitors to shine. I mean, this Inland Title Series, this is our third installment of this series. The two previous times we've done this, we've had two qualifiers to be #1 contenders for the Heavyweight Championship, Joey Harder and Brandon Gatson. And not too far after winning the Inland Title Series, they became the Heavyweight Champion of the Empire Wrestling Federation, and their legacy in the EWF has continued from there.
Well, that has it, Jeremy Yeager. Like I said, I'm sitting next to a man who is just exudes confidence, exudes excellence. What are you looking at right now? How are you? Are you scouting right now? I mean, what brings you here?
I am scouting, and you can't talk so much. I'm trying to write down notes here. But I've never been in the ring with either of the Bucks, so I want to get a good look at what they can do. Paradise, me and him were okay. I thought we had something in common when he dropped Chris Cadillac on his head. But after he tossed me out of the Battle Royal, I got no love lost for him either. I'm looking for weaknesses.
Well, right now, Nick Jackson has a weakness already. Look at that. Johnny Paradise going after that elbow joint and now locking in a hammerlock, wearing down one half of the Young Bucks and Slick Nick.
I got that circled in my notes right here. Nick Jackson, left arm.
Well, Lalo, you had talked about how these two gentlemen are former AWS Tag Team Champions. These two have fought over the AWS Tag Team Championships for well over 4 months when the Young Bucks were the Tag Team Champions. And their feud between the two tag teams of Midnight Dynamite and the Young Bucks can even happen way before they were Tag Team Champions. They were fighting each other in various competitions and various promotions for the last 2 years. So Johnny Paradise knows all of the tricks of Slick Nick and Mr. Instant Replay, and he's definitely going to play to all of their weaknesses in this matchup.
Well, let me ask you both the question right now, though. Midnight Dynamite, Johnny Paradise, of course, one half Midnight Dynamite, just got out of a ridiculously physical feud with Famous for Fearless. Do you think that he's up to 100% going in this Inland Title Series? I mean, honestly, that's why I call him my dark horse pick for the Inland Title Series, because he may not be 100%, but you never know. I mean, he is the biggest man in the tournament. What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely not. He's not 100%. I mean, I had a vicious feud with JT Blackstar. I still hurt him. All right? So there's no way he's at 100%. I'm going to take advantage of that.
But he's definitely not going to be 100% after this exchange from Slick Nick Jackson as he climbs the top rope, twisting and turning into the arm drag, taking him down, almost sending him out of the ring. Johnny Paradise is caught off completely guard, and now we can see Slick Nick just ramming in those shoulders into the midsection.
Let me take a note. Nick Jackson likes to spin. Hang on.
And there you see him spinning again with that head scissors, spinning Johnny Paradise out of the ring. You may want to write those notes as well. Johnny Paradise likes to get out of the ring.
Well, that's not bad strategy. I've employed that one myself.
Well, it's very true. I mean, you may not agree with some of the tactics that Liger uses, but he does do the smart thing. Go out there, collect your thoughts, get your wind back, do what you have to do to calm yourself down and kill that momentum. Johnny Paradise working that to a T.
I think you learned that from me in that 6-man we had a couple months back.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Serious.
Slick Nick trying to go after him, slides underneath the legs, and nails Johnny Paradise, knocking him off the apron. Oh, no, wait a minute, he's not done with him yet. Slick Nick climbing up onto the apron.
See, he's playing to the fans too much. Who gives a crap?
Measuring out, went for that crossbody, but Paradise catching him. The power of Midnight Dynamite just sending Slick Nick into the corner hard.
Do you see what happens when you play to the fans? That's why I go out of my way to treat each and every one of these people like the pieces of crap they are.
Well, that's kind of harsh.
It gets me wins. It gets me wins.
This is true. You do have a big piece of gold sitting right up here on the table with us. It says Cruiserweight Champion on it. Well, you know, like, you got to be taking. I know you're taking meticulous notes, but you know what? In a tournament like this, especially after getting punishment like that, you only have 3 matches in which to get the best record you possibly can. How do you feel going into your match, knowing that one of these guys is going to be 1-0? How does that change your game up?
That doesn't change my game at all. I mean, I'm going to exploit their weaknesses. All that means is you're going to be overconfident. You know, my first match is against Matt Jackson, and they say he's on his honeymoon. He's ducking me. The bottom line is he's ducking me. He's sitting home watching Jeremy Yeager tapes. That's what he's doing.
He doesn't have a DVD player?
No, he still uses tapes.
Wow. That's old school.
8 tracks, bro. 8 tracks.
Wow.
Johnny Paradise now sending Slick Nick into the opposite corner. Follows it up with a vicious lariat in the corner. Almost caved in the chest cavity of Slick Nick.
That sounded like it hurt. I'm glad it wasn't me.
Well,
Who knows, it may be you when you ever face Johnny Paradise in this series.
I wouldn't be. I would not stand in the corner and let Johnny Paradise hit me.
well, would you stand in the corner and let Slick Nick hit you? I don't think so either. Slick Nick on fire now, delivering a nice flurry of offense, but Johnny Paradise reversing that Irish whip. Nice float over, catching Johnny Paradise. Oh, look at this!
Johnny Paradise, who caught Slick Nick, has him up, drops him in a variation of a backbreaker, but attacking the exposed ribcage of Slick Nick. Now goes for the cover again and gets the 2 count. The same ribcage that Johnny Paradise had been working over this whole match, continuing the offense again on that ribcage, trying to knock all the wind out.
I just crossed out left arm and I wrote ribcage. Ribcage.
This is like playing Operation, isn't it? You're just like picking body parts out.
Paradise is picking him out for me. I'm not gonna have to do anything when I wrestle him. He's already gonna be hurt.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, Slick Nick is gonna be, cannot be at his best game when you do take him on. And you know, the best thing about the Inland Title Series, you guys are surprised when you get your matchups. You know, this is drawn out of a hat. Of course, you drew Mr. Instant Replay Matt Jackson and Johnny Paradise. I think he might have just eliminated Slick Nick Jackson from the tournament today. Win, lose, or draw, I think Slick Nick is done for the ITS.
I think so too, and that means only one thing: we don't have to listen to that stupid song anymore.
Well, Matt Jackson uses the same song.
Are you serious?
The Young Bucks, they're brothers.
Now I'm gonna have to hurt him too.
You don't like that song?
That is the worst song I've ever heard in my life, and I am not joking.
Johnny Paradise has just been continuing the offense, the onslaught into the ribcage of Nick Jackson. You can see Nick he's favoring those ribcage, trying to hold them up together. But definitely that scoop slam's not going to do any favors for him whatsoever.
Oh, Johnny Paradise coming off the ropes, trying to do more damage with that elbow. Nobody home, and now Nick Jackson trying to get some momentum back in his favor.
Well, Slick Nick now realizes he needs to get a quick win if he's going to get into this contest, if he's going to get his first victory. But it looks like Johnny Paradise almost got his first victory in the Inland Title Series.
I thought it was over right there. I mean, once your rib cage, that's your whole core. You can't do too much with a bad core.
I like apples too.
I'm talking about wrestling here.
Oh, apple.
Don't make me pull your commentator's license.
I'm sorry.
Johnny Paradise now sending Slick Nick into the ropes again. Vicious knee right across the ribcage once again, attacking him there in the exposed ribcage. And another one. Just how much more of this can Slick Nick take? And well, this move definitely is going to help as well. The abdominal stretch. Just stretching out that ribcage once again.
Oh, and look at Paradise. Come on. Oh, he's grabbing a hold of the ropes adding torque, adding pressure to that rib cage, and our referee Justin Borden just missing Johnny Paradise's hand on the ropes. And look at it again, Larry.
Johnny Paradise in perfect position to utilize the top rope while Justin Borden can't see a thing.
Paradise is used to being in tag team matches with Midnight Dynamite. That's just an extra tag team partner right there.
The rope?
The rope.
Wait, going back to the ropes one more time. This time Justin Borden caught him. Justin caught him, and so did Slick Nick.
And that's a Young Buck tag team move right there, using the referee.
Oh no, wait a minute. Johnny Paradise tried to charge after Slick Nick. Slick Nick pulling the ropes in the way. Johnny Paradise now trying to get back into the ring. Slick Nick trying to get off the rope, and he does. Springboard drop kick.
Oh, but look at Slick Nick still favoring those ribs, doing just as much damage to himself.
Oh, cut heel over the top rope.
Now, how stupid is that when you have a hurt rib cage?
Well, I can't argue with you on that one, Jeremy Yeager, because that is not smart. You have to protect the injury that you already have. But you know what? The Bucks, the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, known for taking risks, and you know what? It's rewarded them up to this point. So, you know, they're the kind of guys that'll let it ride. You know, up 10,000 in Vegas, they're gonna put it all on the pass bar.
So that's just stupid. You put half in your pocket, you bet with the other half. Everyone knows that.
Hey man, Slick Nick. Spin roll kick right across the face of Johnny Paradise. Throws Johnny back into the ring.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch out for that. That was pretty vicious right there.
Oh wait a minute, this is gonna be vicious too. The slingshot face crusher. All right, Slick Nick Jackson, there's the cover, the hook of the leg. Gets a 2 count and almost won his first match.
Well, you know, it's very, very vital to start this tournament 1-0. You don't want to be in the deficit of 0-1 or even 0-1. You don't want to draw. You don't want to tie. No contest, nothing. You want to be in the win column because it is so hard to claw back, especially when you only have 3 matches in which to get the best record.
That's like only getting a chance to play 3 hands of poker. You better win them all.
Well, no arguing with that logic, is there, Larry?
Definitely not. No argument there. I mean, I've seen a number of competitors fall victim of such a losing streak. Jason King, one of the biggest names of EWF, first Inland title series he competed in, happened to be his last. Never picked up a victory in the Inland title series.
No, we didn't. JT Blackstar actually went 1-2 last year. Oh my God! And Johnny Paradise might have just chalked a win up for himself after that spear.
Oh, where did Slick Nick get this from? Where's he getting this second adrenaline going from?
Okay, the Bucks are tough, I'll give them that, but that's just stupid. I mean, he could just take the loss, come back, and try to get 2 more wins. He won't, because one of those matches is going to be against me, but he could try.
Well, not only that, but let's remember, he's going to have to go up against his brother, Matt Jackson. Imagine that match. What's going to go on there? How much damage will that do to the cohesiveness of the Young Bucks?
I mean, wait a minute! Spinebuster slam!
That has to be it. That has to be it.
No! Slick Nick kicks out again before the 3. I was just going to point out that the Inland title series has broken up tag teams before. It broke up the Iron Express.
That it did. Hook Bomber and Joey Harder at odds after the Inland title series, former tag team champions together. They started feuding over that heavyweight title. Oh, but you know, right now we're talking about Johnny Paradise in the middle of that ring going for that tombstone pile driver hits. But look at this, Nick Jackson going for the quick roll-up.
Gets a 2 count. Johnny Paradise quickly trying to get back up to his feet and continue the attack, but Nick catches him with a kick to the face. Charges after him again, but another kick by Nick Jackson.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't bet on this match, man. These guys are going back and forth. It's anybody's match right now. And
this is only the first match of the first round. If this is how good the match is now, imagine what they're going to be like when it comes down to round 3, do or die.
Like Nick,
you're not going to have to wait that long. Wait till I get in the ring.
Oh, 450 splash. Went for the 450 to end this matchup, but Johnny Paradise catching him. There's the small package, and that's going to do it.
Here we are, born to be kings. Ladies and gentlemen, our your winner, Johnny Paradise.
Well, Jeremy Yeager, thank you for sitting in with us. I hope that you got a lot of notes because you're going to have to go up against both these men in the Inland title series coming up soon. Johnny Paradise up 1-0. Slick Nick 0-1 so far in the Inland title series.
I got 1 man with hurt ribs. I got 1 overconfident Canadian. I'm sitting pretty.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a round 1 matchup in the Inland title series. Mr. Instant Replay Matt Jackson going up against the EWF Cruiserweight Champion, Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager. Now we all know that right now the standings are 1-0 for Johnny Paradise as he defeated Slick Nick Jackson. So you know that both these men are going to be giving everything they possibly can in order to go into round 2 with a perfect record of 1-0.
I gotta say, you know, Jeremy Yeager, he's all in right here. He has nothing to lose. The Cruiserweight title is not on the line at all during this ITS.
No, it's not.
And he has everything to gain. If he wins, which I think he probably will, because I mean, look, he's going up against Matt Jackson, one half of D-Generation Buck, and come on, he might be sporting around 2 titles.
Well, it's very true. The Cruiserweight Championship is not aligned in any of the 3 Inland Title Series matches. As I stated before, this year's round 1, but you know, he's got a big task in front of him. Yes, Mr. Instant Replay Matt Jackson, one half of the Young Bucks, one of the greatest tag teams that professional wrestling's seen.
They're okay. I mean, they're no KOS.
Yeah, no.
We're the
you
greatest
guys are a tag team.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get back in there, Lala.
Hey, excuse me. I believe at the next Covina, there's a 6-man and I'm involved in it.
You're in a 6-man tag match?
Yes.
You know what?
What do we call that, intergender tag team match?
You know what?
Shut. You keep your mouth shut.
Ow!
I can call it whatever I want to call it. You believe this guy?
Why would you stab me with a pen? That hurts.
You should know, I'm back in the gym 7 days a month. I'm training to get back in there. And seriously, right now, if I shaved my stomach and my chest, I would look just like Matt Jackson.
Oh, I thought you meant Justin Morton.
No, come on, that's you.
I'm still offended.
Well, you said it yourself, Hayden.
You know why I say it? Because there's no females in the EWF that are worth wrestling me. None.
Exactly.
I have to wrestle guys.
Well, we have 2 great male wrestlers in the ring right now. Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager, of course, our Cruiserweight champion, against Matt Jackson. Like I mentioned, one half of the Young Bucks. But you know, it's interesting. What's going to happen? Because you know down the line, in either the next round or the round after that, the brothers are going to have to go up against each other.
Dun, dun, dun.
I can't wait to see that. I hope, seriously, I don't care about either one of them, but I hope Nick's like tears one of those sideburns off of Matt's face.
You look at those things?
Well, you see Matt Jackson with a nice front face lock applied to Jeremy Yeager in the middle of the ring. Oh, and beautiful top wrist lock. Broken up by a forearm.
I heard Matt actually paid for those sideburns from Rico Constantino. That's who he bought them from. Yeah.
Don't badmouth Rico. Rico came from the Empire.
Little known fact. Little known fact.
Whoa. There you see Yeager. Oh, going for a nice football again. Oh. Matt Jackson with a nice head to the takedown. Beautiful elevation on the drop kick for Yeager. Oh, and a nice arm drag into an arm bar. Hey, beautiful, beautiful flurry of offense. The crowd completely on the side of Matt Jackson right now.
It was okay. I mean, you know.
Nothing to brag about.
Me, Riles, and Taylor do that kind of stuff all the time in the ring.
Are you talking about on like a video game?
Excuse me?
I'm just saying.
What do you do besides put donuts in your mouth?
We don't commentate.
We don't play games. We run games. That's what we do. Understand?
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
there you see Matt Jackson sliding underneath of Yeager. Arm drag followed up by another arm drag. Sending Yeager reeling into the corner. Trying to keep Matt out of the corner. Look at this. There we go.
I mean, the reason I'm saying uh-oh because Matt Jackson lost his hair tie. I know he's going to be pissed about that.
Well, up to 8 going for 10 punches. Look at this Yeager now. Oh, wow. Setting up for that neck breaker instead. Face crusher in the knee and a flying clothesline, sending Jackson to the floor. Hook to the leg. 1, 2. Only getting a 2 count though.
Right in that so-called pretty face of Matt Jackson. I mean, Yeager's on his way now.
Why does Matt Jackson look like a stripper gone wrong?
Well, Yeager doing everything right now. Beautiful clubbing blows across the sternum and chest of Matt Jackson. Nice drop kick around the back of the head.
What a gambler.
Hook of the leg, only getting a 2 count though.
Well, of course, that referee can't count.
Well, his stomach gets in the way every time. They just keep getting bigger too.
Well, a nice reverse chinlock applied by Yeager on Matt right in the middle of that ring, and look at the knee right between the shoulder blades. Only perfect technique like that can be taught here at the School of Hard Knocks. Well, look at this Matt Jackson using the crowd to get that adrenaline flowing, getting back up. Elbows into the breadbasket. Reverse Irish whip now by Jeremy Yeager.
Uh-oh.
Backslide attempt. There's a cover. 2.
Oh.
Only a 2 count though.
Pow!
Oh, and Jeremy Yeager slowing Jackson down with a drop kick, hook to the leg, 2. Yeager had both legs hooked that time and still only able to get a 2 count.
You know, referee Justin Porter really should get that hair tie out of the middle of the ring. Someone's gonna trip and fall over that. We could have a serious injury. I mean, isn't Ryan Taylor next? I mean, I don't want him tripping over that. I'm gonna clear that out of the ring before tonight's over. Before our boy comes out and just dominates.
Well, Jeremy Yeager trying to clear the ring of Matt Jackson with a nice scoop slam and a jumping knee strike. Hook of the leg, only a 2 count yet again.
Look, Matt's looking for the tag. Not happening.
Well, you know, that actually is not a bad comment, Mondo, because he is what is known as a tag team specialist in almost all circles of professional wrestling. And in this tournament, he's on his own. You gotta wonder if that's gonna play into his mind, like you said, looking for that tag, but right now, nobody home, only him to fend for himself. As you see Yeager using the ropes and his own leverage to choke out Matt Jackson.
The Bucks themselves even said they were involved in a pretty big tournament in some other federation a couple weeks ago on their own, and they didn't fare so well. So, I mean, what chance do you think they have here? This is the Cruiserweight Champion. He is that for a reason. And he's showing you why right now, because he is wiping the mat with Matt Jackson's sideburns.
Well, you made a good point earlier. The Cruiserweight title not on the line in any of these ITS matches. So Yeager, really a man with nothing to lose, can go as hard as he possibly can to try to get the win.
Oh!
The ITS hangs himself up. And now look at this. Matt Jackson missing on that dropkick, trying to turn him over into that Scorpion Deathlock. He's got it cinched in perfectly right in the middle of the ring.
What is this?
And a knee in the small of the back.
I need to name this. What should we call this?
Known as the Scorpion Deathlock, actually.
That's not a Scorpion Deathlock, sir.
Variation of the sharpshooter?
Look, he's got his knee in his spine. You never saw Bret Hart put his knee in anyone's spine while applying a sharpshooter,
Well,
did
I'll tell
you?
you what, you come up with a name, you can pat in, you get a nickel every time someone says it.
Sweet.
Yes.
I like nickels.
We can go to the casino.
Matt Jackson getting the ropes and having to break up the hold is Jeremy Yeager. And you can see the frustration setting in on the face of Yeager now.
It's obviously not.
I don't know why I get a hard time for screaming. I mean, look at he's screaming too.
Your scream's a little different though.
No, it's not.
Yes it is.
I like it when she screams. It's just me, apparently.
I like it. I like my screaming. I think it sounds quite lovely.
Well, Yeager sending Matt Jackson into the corner.
Voice of an angel.
With a boot. And now look at this. Ooh. Flying back elbow, sending you to the mat. And a nice clothesline by Matt Jackson trying to get the crowd back into it. Now sending Yeager off the ropes. Irish whip. Duck under a clothesline by Yeager. Oh! Shades of Davey Boy Smith and a beautiful power slam. Only getting a 2 count.
That scared me for a second.
Correction, Davey Boy Smith always put the man over the shoulder for the power slam. He didn't spin it like that, lame-o.
Exactly why
Did you ever watch wrestling?
Exactly why I said shades of Davey Boy Smith, my friend.
You're a shade.
You're a towel. And there's an inverted atomic drop, followed up by a drop kick.
Come on, Yags. Yags. I like that.
Kind of sounds like eggs.
And now Matt Jackson with a swoop slam right in the middle of the ring.
We'll talk about food around lame-o. Come on.
Looks like it's setting him up for something
Look at
huge.
who's wasting time.
Matt
Just get up
Jackson
there and do
known
what you
for-
need to do.
Well, Matt Jackson known for his high-flying offense. Beautiful elbow drop from the top rope. Cover, only a 2 count.
Can't keep Yeager down. It won't stay down.
Yeah, neither can you, Riles. I mean, the drink. Yeah. Not too good. Wow.
You're just shut up.
TMI. Well, they see a waistlock applied by Matt Jackson, reversed by Yeager. Reversed yet again by Matt Jackson. Coming on the ropes. Oh, come on now.
Oh, man.
Yeager with a blatant low blow.
Boom!
Oh,
That's it right there.
Inverted DDT. There's the cover hook with the leg.
Whoa!
Really, this ref? Why do you still keep him on the staff? Why?
What else am I going to use? I mean, I already manage, announce, commentate, ref. I mean,
I don't know. My cat could ref better.
He is a good cat.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Jackson's still on the mat. Jeremy Yeager going to the top.
It's taking the shot.
Drop the shot.
Just like I am later
Shots?
tonight. Oh, yeah, that's tonight.
Yeager dropping the shot.
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh, look at him! Look at him! He's like a cat!
Oh! Oh, no, Yeager, no. Oh!
Oh,
There we go.
Get him!
That's it.
hook of the leg.
Oh! Hate this ref!
flurry of offense as Liger missing on that crossbars, catching himself on the feet. And ending in a pinfall predicament, trying to grab a hold of the tights, only getting a 2 count. There you see Jeremy Liger signaling for that jackpot. Matt Jackson trying to fight out of it, and does. Coming off the ropes, Liger going for that jackpot yet again. Oh, there's a crucifix. 1, 2, 3.
What? What just happened?
Mr. Instant Replay, Matt Jackson!
All I gotta say is that Matt Jackson better hurry up, get back to the locker room, and give Liger Rivera his tights back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Round 1 is over. Matt Jackson, as it stands right now, 1-0, up against, tied with Johnny Paradise, actually 1-0 as well. And at the bottom of the totem pole, Jeremy Liger and Slick Nick Jackson both at 0-1.
That's how quickly this matchup can end in just 3 seconds.
I think we were talking here, Larry. You gonna interrupt us like that?
Well, I'm sorry, there was something important going on in the matchup.
Well, you know, Larry, building on your point, I think that it is to Johnny Paradise's advantage to end this match as early as possible. You know, he's carried on 229 pounds. He's a very, very big man, but the more agile, more conditioned Matt Jackson, the longer this match goes on, the more it weighs in his favor.
Whoa. You saying the man's out of shape?
No, not at all. As we see a quick roll-up, but only a 2 count. No, not at all. But we all know that Matt Jackson is clearly the more agile, the more fleet-footed. Have you not seen any of the Young Bucks matches?
Barely started. I've seen some Johnny Paradise matches. He's a pretty agile guy, right?
Well, I'm not taking anything away from Johnny Paradise.
I think you are.
Oh, I'm not at all. Midnight Dynamite, like Larry pointed out, one of the best tag teams in and around the area, including the AWS. Former tag team champions there, Larry.
That is correct. In fact, these 2 teams, Midnight Dynamite and the Young Bucks, were feuding over those AWS tag team championships. And again, oh, wait a minute, as Paradise sends him in, but Mr. Instant Replay, now wait a minute, says it's your turn. Let's see if you can knock me down.
Come on, one more time.
Oh no, wait a minute. Neither one moving after that exchange. Oh, wait a minute, after that exchange, you will look at the flying shoulder tackle by Mr. Instant Replay after getting all that momentum off the ropes.
Well, look at Johnny Paradise almost cowering in the corner, asking for a timeout of sorts, and we all know no timeouts in professional wrestling. As you see him now collecting his thoughts, a lot of good strategy, right, Goldberg?
Yeah, maybe he's catching his breath because he's so out of shape, according to you.
Yeah, I didn't say he was out of shape. All I'm saying is that you got to believe that the longer the match goes on, it's going to favor Matt Jackson. Correct me if I'm wrong, Larry.
When I'm done talking to the guy, he's going to know you said he's out of shape. And I bet he has a few words for you, buddy.
I don't doubt it.
What's wrong with you?
You're going to probably put a little spin on things. We'll talk about a little spin. A nice roll through underneath that clothesline, followed up by a nice head scissors takedown.
Now wait a minute, Johnny Paradise calling for a timeout, asking for Christopher Lee to give him one, but Mr. Instant Replay is not going to give him a timeout as he's hammering away. Oh, wait a minute, he just got shoved right off. But Replay going right back to work. Oh, no, wait a minute, gets shoved off again, went for the clothesline, that was missed. He missed the clothesline as well. Gets knocked down with the arm drag. And another takedown with the arm drag. And Paradise quickly getting out of the ring as fast as he can.
And again, Paradise asking for a timeout, but he's finding that he's not going to get one. Look at that, though.
Finding through the ropes, went for a clothesline. He nailed the clothesline, but he nailed it on the ring post. Did not quite catch what he wanted to catch, and that is going to be a huge advantage for Mr. Instant Replay.
No, I think Matt Jackson should be disqualified for that, Larry.
Should be disqualified?
Damn right. What's he doing out? Look at this guy.
Why should he be
This
disqualified?
is a wrestling match, not a street brawl. He's the one that took it to the outside.
Well, wait a minute. Johnny Paradise was the one who throwing the punches at ringside.
Johnny Paradise rolled out to catch his breath. Matt Jackson's the one that ran out there to attack him.
No, I think he just wanted to roll out there to bring him back into the ring.
Oh, please.
But be that as it may, they're both back into the ring. Slides underneath Johnny Paradise. Takes him down again with the arm drag. Barring onto the arm that took that clothesline at ringside across the ring rope. And he gets a 2 count again. The ring corner post shifted after that clothesline.
Well, that it did. You see Matt Jackson continue to work on that armbar, trying to take away the already damaged limb of Johnny Paradise, and you know that that's going to take away a huge amount of offense. Johnny Paradise not going to be able to go for that bear hug with as much force, and not be able to hit that spine buster with as much force. Because if he can't lift Matt Jackson, there's no way he's going to get him up and down into that spine buster position.
Wait a minute, sends him into the corner, floats over, replay, takes him down again with the arm drag, and again, boring onto the arm once again. There's a cover, but not quite in the right placement for the cover. Wait a minute, Chris Lee checking to make sure if that shoulder was down properly, and it wasn't. Replay now, still trying to hold on to the arm while Paradise trying to get to a standing base here to alleviate the pressure, and he does after a break to the eyes. Come on. Oh, and he got caught, inverted atomic drop, and falls up with an armbar DDT.
Well, Matt Jackson now climbing the top rope, trying to get the best of Johnny Paradise. Look at this though. Paradise saying, no, you're not getting the best of me.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Replay grabbing onto the arm and then draping it across the rope, snapping it back, almost snapping it out of the socket. Wait a minute, he's gonna say one more time. No! Johnny Paradise catches him. Super kick knocks him off the apron.
You see that? You're saying the man's not agile. Did you see that super kick?
Oh, I'll give you that, Cobra. You know, I'm sitting over here watching you, nodding in approval. I have to give you a little bit more credit. This is turning out to be just what you called it, a possible match of the night candidate. And they're not even all the way through yet. I'm sure this has only been going on for 4 or 5 minutes. These two men have a lot left in their tank, and they're going to go as long as they possibly can with everything in that ring. Neither one of them wants to drop to 1-1 in the Inland Title Series.
Replay finally getting himself back in the ring, but he was met with a foot to the face by Johnny Paradise. Paradise now in control, nails him with the right hand. And was still feeling the Kingston. And choked the life out of him right across those ropes.
What are these idiots booing for?
That's cheating.
What's cheating?
Choking the man.
He wasn't choking him.
Well, what was he doing then?
He was holding him against the ropes.
Across his throat?
No. I didn't see that.
Well, the referee sure did and gave him up to...
Across the chest to me.
Well, the referee...
Making stuff up?
No, the referee...
First you say the man's out of shape, now he's cheating?
Well, I'll say, yeah, he was cheating. Christopher Lehman thought he was cheating. A referee...
He's an idiot.
Well, he's a referee, though.
Yeah, but he's an idiot. That doesn't mean nothing here. You were a referee. That says it all.
Well, this is very true. Well, be that as it may, you see that Johnny Paradise had a nice cravat applied to Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson able to power out of it, though, and a nice hip toss, and then we see him working that armbar again on that damaged arm.
Well, definitely Replay wants to take that arm out of the socket. He wants to take that arm away from Paradise. Again, we had said it before, he won't be able to apply a good 75% of his offense, but we just saw Johnny Paradise can move, can get some offense in without that arm.
That was a nice technical escape there.
A nice leg trip, as it were. And now look at this. This isn't a nice technical move. That was a nice choke in the corner.
I'm sorry, I was looking the other way. Of course you were. Look at that Lalo here, guzzling soda pop.
It's tasty. Parched. It's a little warm in here.
I got myself a little Coke right here.
Are you supposed to be drinking Coke?
You know, I can.
Are they supposed to be drinking Diet Coke? Your personal trainer will get on you about that stuff.
You know who's going to be in action tonight?
Well, that he is. Well, that's later on this evening. And a nice swinging neck breaker by Johnny Paradise just might take Matt Jackson out of action.
There's the cover. Only a 2 count after that beautiful neck breaker. And there you see again, still favoring the arm, and quickly goes right into the chin lock, not wasting any time with Mr. Instant Replay.
Smart. He's going to keep the man grounded. As we seen earlier, you don't want this guy flying around. He's dangerous. I mean, anybody that wears pants that color is a dangerous man. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like Liger Rivera.
Liger sucks. I hate Liger Rivera.
We know you do, my friend. We know you do. Well, there you see Matt Jackson using the crowd to get him pumped up, trying to power out of that. But look at Johnny Paradise dragging him down by the hair.
Another very technical move.
This isn't very technical at all. He's stepping on the hair and then pulling up on the arms. Come on.
It takes a lot of skill to do something like that, Larry. You wouldn't know, okay? You spend your time sitting in that chair.
And why do you get the comfy chair today?
Because I've been here longer. At least at the broadcast
We should rotate.
There's a 2 count again in the corner.
I don't think that chair would hold you, Lalo.
Holding Larry.
But I've been losing some weight.
After yesterday?
I gave him Brandon Cutler's phone number.
Why don't you give him
Been helping you out, right, Larry?
He's got some good pointers. They've been working.
Best trainer around.
Oh, snapping the neck back. Johnny Paradise now in control. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. And gets a 2 count. Almost became 2-0 in his Inland title series.
I gotta be honest, this referee he's got to do the slowest count I've ever seen. I mean, come on.
Really?
Yes. Are you sure the guy knows how to count the thing? I think he's stopping it too because he doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of all these people.
No, Christopher Lee is very confident, as every official here in the EWF has to be. You see him right on top of everything right there, counting Johnny Paradise on that choke. Of course, Paradise taking full advantage of the fact that he has until 5.
Yeah, I like how fast that 5 count was. It was like 3 times as fast as the 3 count on the floor.
Well, he doesn't have to reach all the way up and get all the way down. I mean, just saying.
Well, speaking about reaching all the way down, Mr. Instant Replay trying to reach deep, trying to get that second win going from Johnny Paradise. Trying to lug it, and he does! Spiking him with that DDT. Will that be it? Hooks the leg one more time, and he's going to be... Wow. This match still continues.
I'm impressed. He's probably got a broken neck, but hey, I'm impressed.
Well, you got to give it to Matt Jackson. All the testicular and intestinal fortitude in the world. They're kicking out of that. Oh, and then taking these hard knife edge chops 3 in a row in the corner.
Speaking of broken necks, what the hell is Bino Gambino doing still announcing? I thought we would have fired him by now.
Oh! Vicious clothesline in the corner. Now sending him into the opposite end. And again nails him with a vicious lariat.
Oh, look at this. He's going. Looks like he's going to line up for it again.
Nailing him with 3 lariats in the corner. Now goes for the cover. Come on, no hook of the leg.
Well, you got to believe that if Johnny Paradise would have taken the extra time to hook the leg, he would have won it there. Maybe even there too, Larry.
Please, 3 vicious clotheslines like that, you don't need to hook the leg.
Apparently he did, because Matt Jackson just kicked out
I'm
twice.
surprised the man's still awake. There's Johnny Paradise waking him up.
Measuring it for another one. Turned him inside out on that last one.
I love it. I'll give him a hand for that.
Hooks the leg one more time, and again, this match is still going to continue.
Where's your hand for Matt Jackson on kicking out of that one?
Because I don't need to give a hand to a man that's kicking out of a 14 count. Give me a break. How slow can this ref possibly be?
Well, I'm seeing that his counts are right on the money right now.
But you're an idiot. And look at how thick your glasses are.
I'm not an
I doubt
idiot.
you can see it from there.
I'm not an idiot.
Really?
I'm actually really smart. I've got a degree.
Oh, wait a minute. Tombstone pile driver coming up here. Reversal by Mr. Replay. Giving him a shoulder breaker onto that injured arm. This may be the move that turns the tide for Mr. Instant Replay.
Well, this is Matt Jackson's opportunity to get the momentum back in his favor. Everybody's back and even now. And look at that, ducking under an avalanche clothesline off the ropes.
The flying back elbow. Coming back up. Knocks him down with a clothesline. Measuring him. And knocks him down again, this time with a drop kick. Replay now in control. Sends him into the ropes one more time. Takes him down. Big power slam. 1, 2. He's going to be still 1-0.
Matt Jackson ever so close to getting that victory, putting himself firmly in the driver's seat. But Johnny Paradise showing tenacity of his own, kicking out of that huge power slam, and now reversing the Irish whip and catching a boot as he tries to go in the corner after Jackson.
Takes him down with the arm drag. Oh, wait a minute, holding on. Trying to tie him up. Crucifix cover here. 1, 2. Again, Johnny Paradise kicks out before the 3.
Very impressive display of technical ability and technical wrestling on the part of Matt Jackson, but Johnny Paradise able to just barely squeeze his way out of that. And now look at this, Matt Jackson setting him up for something.
Scoops him up. Paradise reverses, throws him into the ropes. Wait a minute, going for the worst case scenario. Turns it around. He got caught with a spine buster.
How about that, huh?
1, 2. Oh!
Ever so close was Johnny Paradise to securing the victory there after reversing the worst case scenario into his patented spine buster. And you see that he's on his back complaining to referee Christopher Lee that was 3.
I'd be complaining too if the referee was counting this slow for me.
Well, let's hope that you don't have to worry about him refereeing any of your matches then, huh? Well, Joe, you hear the crowd trying to get in Matt Jackson's ear, trying to give him that little boost of adrenaline. You see now Johnny Paradise
Went for the backdrop suplex, was countered. Replay coming off the ropes one more time. Wait a minute, hoodoo count rana by Johnny Paradise. Comes right back up. Now take it down. Fujiwara armbar. Can we get a submission here? Can Johnny Paradise survive through the pain in this Fujiwara armbar? Considering the damage down to the arm. Desperately trying to reach for the ropes. Replay dragging him to the center. Dragging him away from those ropes. Holding on for dear life with that armbar.
We see referee Christopher Lee telling him all he got to do is tap, and the pin's over.
Wait a minute.
Did he? No,
He was trying to position himself. That was not a tap. Good call on Christopher Lee.
See, I told you he was competent.
Wait a minute, pick up here. Trying to go for the backdrop. Could not connect, but he connected with that elbow shot. Sends him into the corner. Paradise charging after him. Wait a minute, got caught. Sunset flip out of the corner. Floats over. 2, 3. He got him. Mr. Instant Replay is 2-0.
Your winner, Mr. Instant Replay, Matt Jackson.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, no need for a replay on that. Matt Jackson is 2-0 in the Inland Title Series and is firmly in control of his own destiny, Larry.
Definitely, he's got all the momentum going for him in the next matchup in the third round of the Inland Title Series. And that makes also the next matchup in the second round with Jeremy Yeager and Slick Nick that much more important.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
This is an all-important matchup in the second round of the Inland Title Series. Match 2, Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager and Slick Nick Jackson going one-on-one to stay alive in the Inland Title Series.
Well, that's very true, Larry. You know, this is basically a must-win. Win or go home. Yeah, you know what? There is a round 3, but for these two men, there is no tomorrow. You drop down to 0-2, you might as well kiss your chance at the #1 contendership goodbye. That's why you're going to see a hard-fought battle between Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager, our Cruiserweight champion, and Slick Nick Jackson. And of course, like always, the Cruiserweight title is not on the line, Larry.
Well, definitely he needed to keep the title away from this tournament, especially considering he suffered his first loss in the title round, against Mr. Instant Replay not too long ago, as we had Slick Nick also lose his match here at the Knights of Columbus Hall against Johnny Paradise.
You know, and some people might have called that an upset, but we all know that Johnny Paradise is extremely skilled in the ring, and it took a lot to take him out and make him 1-1 in this tournament, losing, of course, earlier tonight against Mr. Instant Replay, Matt Jackson.
And I mean, that was a great, hard-fought matchup between the two, between Mr. Instant Replay and between Johnny Paradise earlier on tonight. And now, as we see, Slick Nick trying to stay in control of this matchup as he's trying to ground Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager. I'm not quite too sure if this is the right strategy for Slick Nick. Granted, Slick Nick has had much more ring experience compared to Jeremy Yeager, but Yeager has improved so much over the last 1.5 to 2 years that he has been in the business. I mean, he is our reigning Cruiserweight champion, and you can't be our Cruiserweight champion by being some pushover.
That's very true, and look at him right now, using some of that, I guess you'd call youthful exuberance to taunt the Young Buck, using that traditional Young Buck pose. Oh, but look at that being taken over with a nice arm drag, drop kicking him through the ropes and down to the floor he goes.
And just important right there to make sure that Jeremy Yeager gets back into the ring within the 10 count. Slick Nick patiently waiting for him to come back into the ring, rightfully so. He does not want to rush out there and make any mistakes. He wants to force Jeremy Yeager to make the mistakes.
Another point that needs to be made, Larry, is that Slick Nick Jackson is in this tournament. Not only is Jeremy Yeager and Johnny Paradise, but his own flesh and blood, his brother, Matt Jackson. These two men, the best of friends, the closest brothers can possibly be. You actually hear them in the back calling each other the quote-unquote Marty Jannetty of the tag team. Now we all know that Marty Jannetty is good. He's one of the greatest ever. You know, he himself competing here in the EWF at Rock of Ages, in March. But we all know that his legacy is not quite as huge as the showstopper himself, Shawn Michaels.
Well, and that was Well, that was the analogy that Slick Nick wanted to use and Mr. Instant Replay wanted to use with each other, and that's okay. That's just the way brothers are. I mean, you had Rick and Scott the Steiner brothers.
Exactly.
Great tag team combination, great brother tag team.
Shane and Shannon and the Ballards.
And that is true. Another great tag team that are brothers as well. And in this situation, oh, wait a minute, big backdrop by Slick Nick. Follows it up with a nice clothesline and a back elbow to follow it up.
The Cutlers.
The Cutlers, another great brother tag team. So many great tag teams that are brothers. So many great tag teams that started off as great friends. But again, the Inland Title Series, this is such a huge tournament. This is an all-important tournament that it has broken up tag teams. It has ended friendships, as we've seen in the past with the Iron Express, Joey Harder and Hook Bomberry. Great friends, grew up together, trained together, and then everything had to culminate for a shot at the heavyweight championship, and that's when friendships, that's when blood relationships are thrown out the window when the title is on the line.
That's very true. I mean, that EWF Heavyweight Championship is one of the most prestigious titles in all of professional wrestling, Larry. You know, nobody wants to say where it would rank, but it is way up there. People come from all over the world here to get a shot at that EWF Heavyweight Championship, and you know, you got to wonder how tense Thanksgiving might have been with the Young Bucks at the Young Buck household. Because I mean, you got to take into consideration also what CK Jackson and Tab Jackson. You know, what side of the fence are they on when it comes down to the Inland Title Series?
I mean, again, it's going to be narrowed down to one of these four competitors. That's why this tournament is so important. You had said before, we have wrestlers coming from not just across California, not across the country, across the world, coming to get a shot at the heavyweight championship. And these four are in a prime chance to get a shot at the heavyweight championship. That's what makes this so important, because it only happens once a year. We go through 5 competitors. One Battle Royal winner automatically gets a shot. The other 4 remainder competitors from that Battle Royal are thrown in this tournament to see who rightfully deserves a shot at the heavyweight championship.
And you know, history is always on the side of the competitors, Larry, because every person that's won the Inland Title Series, okay, Joey Harder won the EWF Heavyweight Championship, right?
Correct.
Okay, and what about last year?
And we had Bino Gambino, who won the Battle Royal to become the champion, defeating Dan Kobrick, but also at the same time Brandon Gatson, who won the Inland Title Series Round Robin Tournament, also became the heavyweight champion for the first time.
Exactly, so it's not a foregone conclusion that you are gonna win the championship if you win this Inland Title Series, but you are battle tested, ready to go. As you see a hook of the leg, only getting a 2 count. Like I said, battle tested and ready to go, and ready to fight for that most prestigious prize here in the Empire Wrestling Federation.
And right now, Slick Nick is trying to fight back against Jeremy Yeager, who is in a fight for himself as well. Survival, if you will. As we said, this is an all-important matchup. This will bring them right back into contendership. The loser of this matchup can virtually be seen out of this tournament.
That's very true, and you got to look at the next round matchups too, Larry. As we see a hook of the leg by Jeremy Yeager after that jumping knee strike. The next round matchups, Jeremy Yeager going up against Johnny Paradise, who is 1-1 in this tournament, and then Slick Nick Jackson going up against his brother, Mr. Instant Replay, Matt Jackson. Slick Nick Jackson, if he comes away with the win tonight, could in essence control his own destiny by defeating his brother in the next round. He's hook of the leg.
Covered. I was about to say we may not get to that point. We may not see that matchup because Jeremy Yeager almost brought himself back into the hunt.
Well, that's very true. And let's look at the other scenario. If Jeremy Yeager wins tonight, he's got to not only beat Slick Nick tonight, but Johnny Paradise next round, and then hope that Slick Nick Jackson can defeat Matt Jackson, in which case we'd have a tiebreaker.
There are so many scenarios that can happen with the Inland Title Series, and again, it lies in this matchup. As we see right now, a sleeper hold applied by Jeremy Yeager, trying to ground the high flyer, brings him down. All he has to do is apply more pressure, apply more body weight, hook a body scissors if he can, and hold on for dear life.
Well, you see Nick Jackson fading away ever so slowly. Justin Borden lifting the hand. That's 1, he says. Doing it again. It's dropping down. That's 2. 1 more. And Jeremy Yeager wins round 2's matchup. No! Slick Nick Jackson held his hand up at the very last second. And look at him trying to fight back, trying to get that adrenaline going through his veins. The crowd trying to get him pumped up.
Look at us fighting back, trying to land some some elbows into the midsection, breaks the hold, but he got caught again. No, wait a minute, shoots him off. Spinning front kick right across the face. Beautifully executed by Slick Nick.
Oh, Jeremy Yeager has laid out Nick Jackson out of pure exhaustion, out of pure instinct, nailing him with that spinning wheel kick. Our referee, Justin Borden, administering that standing 10 count.
But you notice that he is taking his time with that 10 count. We need to have a decisive winner in this round, in this matchup. Jeremy Yeager trying to fight back, but Nick is blocking and coming back with some fury of his own. Sends him into the ropes now. Knocks him down with a clothesline. Follows it up with a drop kick. Measuring him, pushes his back elbow. Brings him right back up, just so he can knock him down with the enziguri.
And that's Slick Nick Jackson trying to capitalize that, rolling him over. Hook on the outside leg cover. Only getting a 2 count though, Larry. You know, one other possibility we didn't discuss is what happens if this is a draw.
If this is going to be a draw, then virtually we're going to have a 3-way tie, if you will, with Johnny Paradise.
That's true, but what about Matt Jackson 2-0? He overclinches the contendership.
Definitely, that's a scenario that he wants to see. But now, wait a minute. Slick Nick Jackson may prevent us from seeing that scenario. He may get the victory here. So close, and yet still so far from clinching his spot in the Inland Title Series.
Well, you know, nobody wants to go down 0-2 in this, Larry, because there's that stigma, the Jason King stigma, if you will. The only man to ever go 0-3 in the Inland Title Series tournament. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants to come away with at least 1 win. And look at Jeremy Yeager doing all that he can in order to try to secure a win.
Climbs up onto the top rope now, measuring up. Missile drop kick, caught him flush. Right across the face. Hooks the leg. Will this be it? No.
Oh, Slick Nick Jackson kicking out at the last minute, actually interrupting Justin Borden's count with his own arm. And you see Jeremy Yeager getting frustrated. Now is not the time for him to lose his head. He needs to stay calm, cool, and collected. He needs to stay in his own mode, play his game, fight this match his way, Larry.
Oh, we're almost going to see him play that game, but right now Slick Nick reversal on the waist lock, holds onto the ropes, so Slick Nick comes falling up, going for it. Oh, my God!
Going for that Cazadora into a stunner variation, and now there's the cover, too! Jeremy Yeager kicking out at the last possible second.
I was almost at a loss for words over that move.
Well, that you were, and you're never at a loss for words, Larry. You hear the crowd actually saying that was 3 to the referee.
Oh, vicious forearm shot by Slick Nick. But Yeager firing back, forearm shots of his own. Comes off the ropes, gets taken down, single leg trip by Slick Nick. And Slick Nick trying to get some momentum going into his favor. Jeremy Yeager groggy in days after being tripped up. Slick Nick now coming out for it. Try to go for the springboard moonsault, moved out of the way. Yeager comes after him. Wait a minute. Going for the mic. Oh, no, wait a minute. He got caught. Backslide. 1, 2. Yeah, it's a 2 count.
Well, Yeager looked like he was setting him up for that jog pop, but only got reversed to that backside. Now, just putting the fist right to the cranium of Slick Nick Jackson.
Spinning back kick, going for a tornado DDT. Spikes him in the center of the ring. Almost sending him out of the ring.
Right now is the time that Slick Nick Jackson needs to get all of his strength, muster all of the tenacity, all of the courage, all the desire, all the heart he has left to get over and make the cover on Jeremy Yeager.
Slowly crawling, reaching for the wounded Jeremy Yeager. Rolling over the dead weight. Wait a minute, what's he doing? He should have been going for the cover.
Wait a second, he's signaling that he's going to do a little more? That should have been it. If he would have gotten the cover, hooked the leg, this could have been it. Nick Jackson could have been 1-1.
I think he's trying to go for the 450. And that just may cost him the matchup. That just may cost him the Inland Title Series and a shot at the Heavyweight Championship.
And then now putting Nick Jackson up on the top rope. Looks like he's gonna go for a superplex. But Nick Jackson fighting back with everything he has left. Oh, a knife fist chop sends Yeager reeling. Followed up by another one that sends him down to the floor. Nick Jackson on the top rope. 450!
1, 2, and 3. That is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your leader,
Slick Nick Jackson is now tied with Johnny Paradise. And top shelf Jeremy Yeager comes away 0-2 in the Inland Title Series. of the Prestige Inland Title Series. This is definitely going to be a huge contest for Johnny Paradise, as he has a record of 1-1 going into this matchup, whereas top shelf Jeremy Yeager is 0-2. He is virtually eliminated from this competition already. He just wants to go in at this point to act as the spoiler, if you will. He does not want to be the one participant in this tournament to go without a victory in the Inland Title Series. And Johnny Paradise, as I mentioned before, he is 1-1. That means he is tied currently with Slick Nick Jackson, one half of the Young Bucks. And I think Paradise was trying to give Jeremy Yeager a reminder of who he's in the ring with. And Yeager says, I know exactly who I'm in the ring with, and that's why I'm going to take you down and pound the holy hell out of you.
Well, Jeremy Yeager not wanting to be intimidated, not wanting to say, yeah, you know what, I know who you are, I know what you've done, but you know what? You have no idea who I am, and you have no idea what I've done.
And now what he's just done is slammed him head first into the ring apron. Our reigning EWF Cruiserweight Champion just hammering away on one half of Midnight Dynamite. But Paradise, the much larger out of the two, the more powerful out of the two, throwing his weight around and literally throwing around the weight of our Cruiserweight Champion, Jeremy Yeager.
Well, Jeremy Yeager, of course, giving up about 40 pounds, but look at that. Just might have neutralized that weight advantage when Johnny Paradise went shoulder first into that steel turnbuckle post. And ladies and gentlemen, take a look at that structure right on top of it. That huge pole looming on the top there, waiting for that match later on this evening, the title for title match, the title on a pole match. But that's later on. Right now, Jeremy Yeager, like you said already, mathematically eliminated, but right now trying to spoil things for Johnny Paradise.
Well, that is true, because as I was mentioning before, that Slick Nick and Johnny Paradise, they are tied tonight. And if Johnny Paradise can get a victory, that's definitely going to shoot him up in the rankings as well. And if Slick Nick, however, does not get the victory here tonight in his matchup against his brother, Matt Jackson, then that's going to put Johnny Paradise in a much better position.
Well, that it will, but you know what? That's asking for a lot of help right there, and you know that neither one of those men in that later match are going to give an inch. Right now, Jeremy Yeager not giving an inch at all either. Look at that, attacking that already wounded left arm of Johnny Paradise. I don't know that he's going to be able to do that patented spinebuster of his later on the night, Larry.
And not only that, we've seen him, he loves to throw the lariat around, trying to knock people's heads off. Obviously, if he's that's the same arm he uses the lariat with. So if he's going to throw those lariats, they're obviously not going to be as effective.
Well, of course not. You know, he's taken away easily 50% of the offense, and look at that. Doing the smart thing, keeping the big man grounded, slowing everything down to Jeremy Yeager's pace. Jeremy Yeager, very methodical in the ring, but at the same time, a firecracker. Go off at any moment, Larry.
Johnny Paradise now is trying to get back up on his feet, which he is, and he's trying to, again, throw his weight around, muscling Yeager into the corner, doing whatever he can to break the hold, which he does. But now look at this, Jeremy Yeager taking him back down, and again, barring onto the arm and holding onto that arm for dear life, and that is exactly what he needs to do. He needs to hold on to that arm for dear life and get a submission if he wants to walk away with a victory in the Inland Title Series. Because oh, wait a minute, look at this. He took the impact of the backbreaker. He sacrificed himself, sacrificed his body just so he can hold on to the arm.
Well, look at him, look at the torque, look at the twisting the shoulder joint right across the elbow as well. Jeremy Yeager got two holds in there for the price of one. Doing exactly what he's doing. Look at Johnny Paradise wincing in pain, and look at Yeager just continuing to pound away at that wounded wing.
And I've seen Johnny Paradise squeal in pain in numerous matches, but I have yet to have seen him in such pain, in such trouble early on into the contest.
Well, Jeremy Yeager, Larry, I don't know if you mentioned this in that long walk that I took from the ring over here, but Jeremy Yeager does not want to become the Jason King of the Inland Title Series. Of course, Jason King, the only man ever to go winless in the Inland Title Series, a dubious distinction that Jeremy Yeager wants to avoid at all costs.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Jason King. I mean, he was a great athlete when he was competing in EWF, but
he's multi-time champion here.
And he was the only person who have ever held all the major heavyweight championships in EWF at one time. But nonetheless, that just shows you the competitive spirit that is the Inland Title Series. Wait a minute, there's a cover, and we get a 2 count. Johnny Paradise barely inching away with a victory in this matchup. And as I was saying before, that's the competitive spirit of the Inland Title Series, having great champions like Jason King, like Hook Bomberry, like DJ Perkins, like Joey Harder. This was the first title series. And Jason King, out of all those matches that he had to face, could not get a victory against either Hook Bomberry, Perkins, or Joey Harder.
Well, of course not. It's not like he's going in the ring against some random Jim Henson Muppets or anything like that. These are top quality competitors right here. Joey Harder, a former EWF heavyweight champion, tag team champion, and cruiserweight champion. TJ Perkins, a current NWA heritage champion, as well as Hook Bomberry, a former American champion. These are not nobodies, Larry. So, I mean, it was very difficult for Jason King to even compete in that Inland Title Series. Of course, JT Blackstar was given the honor of one win last year as well as Ryan Taylor in the Inland Title Series. I mean, everybody knows they got to bring their A game when it comes to the Inland Title Series, and you see Jeremy Yeager knowing where he's at all times in the ring with a foot on the ropes.
And now this is starting to frustrate Johnny Paradise. He needs to put him away right away, because we do not know the full extent of the damage of the arm at this point. And Jeremy Yeager now trying to open up, trying to light up that chest now with those chops to the chest. And try to go after the arm, but Paradise quickly reversing.
Oh, gives him a chop of his own. Oh my God, and another one. Oh, you could see people in the audience grabbing their chests.
Oh, and they're grabbing their arms and shoulders now after that. Winding up on the arm and then slamming it down onto the socket, slamming it down right onto the canvas. Using the ring as a weapon, and at this point it's legal.
Of course it is, Larry. And you know Jeremy Yeager is going to use everything that he has, every weapon in his arsenal, and every opportunity to try to win this match.
Johnny Paradise in trouble here as Yeager's up on the top rope. Look at this, trying to catch him, and he does. Drops him face first on the top rope. And now Johnny Paradise is trying to bring some life back into that arm. Now goes for the cover. And gets a 2 count again. Again, he's trying to put him away. He needs to get out of there as fast as he can.
Well, you know that the longer that he's in that ring, the more damage is going to be done to his arm. Even just walking around and trying to mount any kind of offense. I mean, look at that. Jeremy Yeager able to get right out of that scoop slam predicament. And look at that nice Fujiwara armbar applied right there in the ring. Still a ways away from the ropes is Johnny Paradise.
As long as Jeremy Yeager can hold on to this lock, this could be a submission. Oh, but Paradise knew where he was, reaching for the ropes. Jeremy Yeager, having the right idea, almost walked away with a submission victory over Johnny Paradise in the Inland Title Series. Oh, no, wait a minute, look at this. Paradise dumping him out at ringside. Using a handful of tights and throwing him in between those ropes.
You know, it's no mystery here, Larry, that neither one of these people are quote-unquote fan favorites. You don't hear anybody cheering for one man or the other, but you do hear the crowd applauding. You do hear the crowd reacting to everything that's going on in that ring because they appreciate good wrestling. And right now what they're seeing is a true showcase of the abilities of Johnny Paradise and Jeremy Yeager.
Look at this, Paradise now trying to measure him, trying to go for the right hand. Yeager blocking it and delivering some right hands of his own. Sending him into the ropes. It's reversed by Paradise. Paradise with a knee into the midsection. And a kick right across the face to follow that up.
On that knee floor, Jeremy Yeager, he went right down to the mat. And that boot followed him. Now look at this, look at the leg of the cover. Only getting a 2 count though.
Well, I know that knee was a vicious knee going into that midsection, but I don't think it was going to be enough to put Jeremy Yeager away. There is a reason why he is our Cruiserweight champion. Very tough young individual. Vicious forearm shot though in the corner by Paradise. Paradise now sending him in. No, it's reversed by Yeager. Yeager charging in after him. May not be a wise decision, but look at this. Lands on the apron. Climbs up to the top rope. Missile drop kick. Nailing Johnny Paradise. Now crawling over for the cover. And for the win here. Hooks the leg. This is going to be... No, Johnny Paradise kicks out in time. But look at this. Yeager not getting discouraged at all. Picks him right back up just so he can knock him down. Implants him with that DDT right in the center of the ring.
Well, Jeremy Yeager went all the way up, all the way down with that DDT. Now hook of the leg, too. Only getting a 2 count, though. Now look at that, rolling right over into that Fujiwara 1-4 time, Larry.
And Johnny Paradise is very far away from those ropes. He's right in the center of that ring. All Yeager has to do is outlast Paradise. Keep his base where he is right now. Look at this. He has all the body weight wrenching in onto that Fujiwara armbar applied. Look at that bridge by Yeager. Paradise trying to squirm and roll around, trying to get that leverage alleviated from his arm.
Well, he's got that vertical base built up back underneath him. He's already up to one knee, Larry. And we know 229 pounds, a lot of strength in those legs. And he's got him up, Larry.
Trying to go for the backbreaker again. Jaeger rolls out, but he could not roll out of the spine buster. 1, 2, and Jaeger kicks out. Jaeger kicks out, and Paradise can't believe it. He thought he had it.
Well, that's right, Larry. Normally that spine buster is lights out for anybody who's in the ring with Johnny Paradise, but you have to wonder how much of that damage that Jaeger did early on and to continue to do the damage on that arm affected that spine buster.
Oh, trying to lay in on those forearm shots again. I got to question how effective they are. Look at this, throws the elbow pad off, going for the lariat, but he got caught. Jeremy Jaeger pulling on the top rope, and that's sent Paradise out over the top rope and out of the floor. And now Jaeger's gonna beat him out of the floor with a plancha. Catching him down at ringside. And I cannot see any movement on the part of Jeremy Jaeger or Johnny Paradise.
Neither can. Well, hold on a second. I'm finally seeing Johnny Paradise starting to stir, and Jaeger as well. Chris Lee already up to 7, but look at that, Jaeger rolling Johnny Paradise into the ring. Well, wait a second. Johnny's going right back out.
Oh, I gotta believe his arm is hurt. His arm is hurt bad.
He's calling for a timeout, Larry. What's this?
Wait a minute. He just took the Cruiserweight Championship away from ringside.
What's he doing with that?
He has the belt right behind his back. Christopher Lee doesn't see this. I'm not sure if Jaeger sees this. Oh no, wait a minute. Jaeger catching him, kicks him in the midsection, now hammering away on the head of Johnny Paradise. Now he has the belt. Wait a minute, trying to use the belt. Paradise catching him, spikes him with a DDT on the belt. Christopher Lee, wait a minute.
What, he just...
Christopher Lee is calling for the bell. And he's awarding the match to Jeremy Jaeger.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this round 3 Inland Title Series match by way of disqualification, top shelf, Jeremy Jaeger.
Well, Jeremy Jaeger came into an all-or-nothing situation as far as standing goes for the Inland Title Series, and he possibly has just knocked out Johnny Paradise out of the standings.
Well, we got to see what happens later on tonight, but right now, Jeremy Jaeger happy that he comes away with one win here in the Inland Title Series.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. This is the final matchup in the Inland Title Series Finals. Last matchup, we have Slick Nick Jackson going up against his brother, Mr. Instant Replay, Matt Jackson. This is for all the marbles, Lalo.
Well, that's right, Mr. Instant Replay, Matt Jackson, 2-0 in the driver's seat of the Inland Title Series. And right now, Slick Nick Jackson is fighting for just the chance, Larry, at a tiebreaker match in order to get himself that #1 contendership in the ITS. As you see both men now in the middle of the ring, you see a nice top wrist lock applied by Matt Jackson.
Now look at this, trying to switch it around. Matt Jackson now taking the arm. But look at this, Slick Nick winding back up onto the arm, into the hammerlock now. Reversal again, this time by Matt, back into the hammerlock. I mean, this matchup is going to be such an exciting matchup, ladies and gentlemen, not because of the fact that we have just it's Young Bucks, but it's the fact that these are brothers that have grown up together. They know each other like the back of their hands, so you got to believe that they are already thinking just exactly what the other one is thinking and what they want to do for their strategy. So Nick knows exactly what Matt's going to do, and Matt knows exactly what Nick's going to do. So it's all these possible combinations can happen in this matchup here tonight.
Well, you know, Larry, this is the equivalent to a chess match. You have to look 3, 4, 5, even 10 moves deep. And like you said, these guys are brothers. They grew up together. But let's not forget that they travel together. They eat together. They do every single thing there is to do together, traveling all over the world, creating the name the Young Bucks and making it as famous as it possibly can be.
Now we have that hammerlock applied again, this time by Nick. Matt trying to take him down with a side headlock, and he does. Head scissors applied. But look at this nice kip up by Slick Nick. Nick now trying to go for a victory roll. It looks like here. No, takes him down with the arm bump with a headlock again. Head scissors, kip up again. Look at this. All the action going back and forth. Leg trip by Matt. Kick out. Another leg trip, this time by Nick. There's another cover and another kick out. and we're here at a stalemate in the early goings of this contest.
How did you keep up with all that, Larry?
I don't even know how I kept up with all of that.
That was amazing. It's like you've seen this match 17 times or something. But you know what you have seen? You've seen the Bucks in action time after time after time again, just like I have. And you know what? It's almost academic that we both know these men are going to go and go and go and go. They're like the Energizer bunnies of the Empire Wrestling Federation. And look at that. That's the sportsmanship. That's that brotherly love that we're talking about here. A nice handshake and a little high five in the middle. But you know what's going to happen? That's going to change real quick when they get back into the swing of things. And there you see a head and arm tie up, and then there's a side headlock applied, whipping him off the ropes, Larry.
Big shoulder block knocked down by Matt. Nick goes down, but Nick climbs back up with that leapfrog, catching him with a hip toss onto his brother. Oh, but a kip up again, this time by Matt. Leg sweep. No, look at that counter into the head scissors. Nick now in control. Has Matt, no, but Matt reversing and sending him into the corner. Look at his hamstring up and out of the corner with another arm drag onto his brother Matt. Look at this. I can't believe the agility of Slick Nick Jackson. He has completely taken Matt Jackson off of his game. Matt has gone out of the ring and is trying to take a breather at this point.
Well, he has to. Did you see all the offense? I mean, that was a flurry of high-octane adrenaline rush offense right there. Nick Jackson had everything working in his favor, and now Matt Jackson collecting his thoughts, doing what Vanderpyle would call strategizing.
I'd have to wonder if Nick Jackson possibly caught his brother Matt off guard with moves that I've never seen counters out of. I've seen counters like this before, but never in the way that Slick Nick was utilizing them.
Well, they see him now tying him up with a nice top wrist lock, a nice roll through though, and a reversal by Matt Jackson. You see Nick Jackson trying to roll through on his own, and look at that, another reversal followed up by a drop kick right to the jaw, Larry, and Matt Jackson is furious.
You know, this is a side of Matt Jackson that I have not seen before. He's getting frustrated. He's getting upset over the fact that his brother is out wrestling him. I have never seen this happen out of Matt Jackson before. I have to wonder. You got to believe that there has been some animosity between these two growing up. I mean, they are brothers. You got to believe that there's been some sibling rivalry before. I mean,
are you kidding? You know that one of them stole the other one's G.I. Joe at one time or the other.
Well, that had to be the case, and this is the one chance. This is the one time where they can vent out all of their frustrations. And this is definitely the matchup that Mother Jackson did not want to see.
Well, you know, they just had Thanksgiving together. You got to wonder what it's going to be like around the Christmas tree, Larry. I mean, we all know that the Young Bucks are one of the greatest tag teams in all of professional wrestling today. What's going to happen with the cohesion of that team after these two men? I'm sure they're going to beat the hell out of each other tonight, Larry, because no one wants to pass up a shot at that EWF Heavyweight Championship.
It definitely wouldn't be the first time that a great tag team that's come into EWF would be separated over this Inland title series. Wait a minute, look at this clothesline over the top rope by Nick. And Nick now over the top rope, tope con hilo, look, mono hands, crashing down on his older brother, Matt. Holy crap!
Well, look at that. Referee Christopher Lee running immediately to the outside to check to see if both these men are okay. And look, both of them down on the ground. Neither one of them able to move.
I mean, both these men, they're struggling to get back up onto their feet now.
Struggling, they're not moving, Larry. I think finally some signs of life from Slick Nick Jackson. Of course, he was the one who delivered the punishment, but anytime you go over the top onto the floor, you're going to get some of it yourself.
Look at this, trying to throw him back in, but look at this, Matt throws him and takes a kick across the back of his head, spinning into Geary by Slick Nick. And now Nick feels he's in control. He's up on the apron. We've seen him use this time and time again, and so has Matt as he caught him with an inverted atomic drop. But look at this, the counter by Nick, and Nick knocks him down. Spinning wheel kick, goes for a cover. 1, 2. Oh, that was close.
Oh, you know, we see him use that tiger wall flip and then that spinning wheel kick, putting away opponents before with that, but he's going to have to do a lot more to take care of his brother in this match, Larry.
Well, he definitely knows that. That's why he is staying on top of the offense. He has all this momentum swinging into his favor. And look at this now, applying that front face lock, trying to slow down, trying to ground Matt Jackson, his brother, while he thinks of new moves, while he thinks of new ways to take him down and go for the cover.
Well, of course he's got to try to wear him down, Larry. I mean, this guy's got about as much high-speed octane as his brother. You know, there's no way that he's going to be able to just hit one big move, and that's going to be it. He's got to wear him down. You see him now. Excuse me, Matt wrestling his brother, trying to tie him up, trying to wear him down.
Try to go for the cover after that suplex attempt. Came so close, but it still was not enough to put away Matt Jackson. Now picks him back up just to snapmare him down. Trying to tie him up here. Look at this, getting a hammerlock with the leg, and then with the added arm, pulling back into a variation of the abdominal stretch.
Oh, and look at Matt Jackson, Larry. You could see that he's breathing heavily. Look at that. He is huffing and puffing as his brother Slick Nick Jackson is trying to just take away every bit of oxygen out of his lungs, and that's what he has to do. He has to deprive his muscles of oxygen, Larry, because if he can't stand, he can't walk, he can't move, there's no way in hell he's going to be able to fight back. But look at this. He got a little bit of a dose of adrenaline, was able to flip his brother over, but a back elbow kills every bit of momentum that he was able to build up. A rollover with a hook of the leg, only getting a 2 count though, Larry.
Still was not enough to put his brother Matt away again. Nick's still feeling this. You gotta believe that he may be just 1 or 2 moves away from putting this match away and forcing himself into a tiebreaker situation, as we saw before with Johnny Paradise and Top Shelf Jeremy Yeager. Jeremy Yeager coming out with a victory in that matchup by disqualification. So that knocks Johnny Paradise back to 1-2. Slick Nick, he is 1-1. He needs to get a victory in order to tie with his brother. This could be the matchup that puts the series into a tie, because Matt right now is 2-0. And if Matt can get the victory, then he will signify, he will clinch his title shot, his chance at the heavyweight championship, whoever the champion is going to be, if he can walk away from this match 3-0. And wait a minute, he just may have that chance now.
Well, Matt Jackson has just neutralized his brother, sending him over the top rope to the outside. Now he's able to collect his thoughts, plan a little bit further ahead, and able to get a little bit strategy, a little bit of oxygen back into his lungs after that horrendous abdominal stretch that his brother put him into. And now you see Christopher Lee administering that standing 10 count, and Nick Jackson still on the outside. You know, we talked about tiebreakers a minute ago, Larry, but you know what? When it comes to tiebreakers, it is not a new thing here in the Inland Title Series. People fight and claw for as much. Oh my God! Screw tiebreakers! I don't think there's gonna need to be one, but there, oh my God! That was just about it. Nick Jackson springboarding himself into the waiting arms of his brother for a power slam. He almost drove him right through the mat, Larry.
And Matt cannot believe that he has not been able to put away his brother Nick after that power slam. You can see the frustration in his eyes as he takes out his frustration on the head of his younger brother.
Well, he doesn't want Nick to force a tiebreaker. I mean, think about this. Nick is fighting just for the chance for a tiebreaker match. He not only does have to beat Matt here tonight, but if he wins, he's got to beat him again, Larry, at a future date.
Again, Nick Jackson is just fighting for a chance, fighting to stay in this contest, to get a chance at the heavyweight championship. Whereas again, as I mentioned, Matt, he is fighting to clinch his spot, and he may do it. No, I thought he was going to do it right there.
Well, we all know how important that EWF Heavyweight Championship is, Larry. Everybody fighting in this Inland Title Series, not just the title series, but the Battle Royal just to get into the title series. Fighting tooth and nail. I mean, there was over 20 men and women in that Battle Royal, and now it's come down to this, basically. If Nick wins, he forces a tiebreaker. If Matt wins, he outright clinches the #1 contendership for the EWF Heavyweight Championship. And you gotta believe that Black Metal is in the back, hoping that Nick Jackson wins. And hold on a second, hook of the leg and a cover, only getting a 2 count, because you know if Nick wins, then it's gonna tire them both out and make it easier for him to retain the title.
Regardless of whoever the heavyweight champion is gonna be at this point, when they are gonna be able to cash in their winnings to get their shot at the heavyweight championship, they definitely have to watch out for either of these contenders, as we see Nick still fighting to be a contender, but his brother Matt just kicking away at the head, and that knocks away all the momentum that Nick was trying to build up and deliver.
Well, you know, we're seeing a whole different side of Matt here, Larry. I mean, we're used to
Look at this. He's mocking his brother by reaching for the 10.
That's what I'm talking about, Larry. I mean, this is a whole different Matt. Every time we see the Young Bucks, we see them clapping, getting the crowd into it. That really catchy, annoying theme song of theirs. Everybody knows the Young Bucks from the moment they walk in the door, and it's fun, good times. Right now, it's almost as if, hold on a second, hook of the leg, 2 count, almost a 3. It's as if he's become a whole different person because of the chance that he has to win that EWF Heavyweight Championship #1 contender title.
Well, definitely you have to believe that there's some personal animosity between these two. They want to find out who is the better man out of the Young Bucks team. I mean, they had made comments before in the Inland Title Series. I believe it was Matt who said, "I'm going to be the one to throw you through the barber shop."
Yeah, we all remember that, and fans of wrestling know exactly what he's talking about, Larry. You know, there's no need to rehash that. I mean, that's how personal it's gotten, Larry. That's how bad these men want it. As you see Matt Jackson applying a rear naked choke to his brother. Oh, look at this, though. Nick Jackson fighting out. Elbows to the breadbasket.
Comes charging off the ropes right at a moment. But look at this, he got caught with a back body drop by his brother Matt.
Oh, Matt Jackson taking a moment to take a breath and cheer to the crowd. Look at this cover, no hook in the leg though. Only a 2 count.
Well, it may not have been enough to put away Slick Nick. He did hesitate a little bit to go for the cover. That may have cost him.
You can't do that against the Young Bucks as a team. You can't do it against Matt or Nick, either one of them, because all they need is that 1 second, Larry. I mean, you see how fast these guys are. I mean, they're in Dragon Gate, for Pete's sake. Oh my God!
The springboard face crusher by Slick Nick. You said it before, he only needed 1 or 2 seconds, and that's all it took for him to apply that move.
Exactly, but he's got nothing left in the tank though, Larry. This match would be over 1, 2, 3, and we'd be in a tiebreaker situation. But Nick Jackson has already taken so much punishment at the hands of his brother, he can't bring himself over to cover him. As you see both men now trying to work their way back up.
It's a race to see who's going to get back up onto their feet first, and it looks like it's going to be Nick. Nick firing back with a series of forearm shots. Now throws him into the ropes and knocks him down again, this time with the back elbow. Follows it up with a beautiful drop kick.
Well, now Nick Jackson firmly controlled. You see an Irish whip now. Beautiful hip toss coming off the ropes. And look at this, tying him up. Looks like a La Magistral variation. Only getting a 2 count, though.
Now ties him up for a crucifix, changes it up into the sunset flip for another cover and another chance. No, still involved. Still in this matchup is Matt, and Matt just got caught again with a kick into the midsection by Nick. Slick Nick now, again laying it in on the forearm shots onto his older brother. Measuring him here now, and another vicious forearm shot.
Look at him coming off the ropes now. Oh, Matt Jackson playing possum and delivering a back elbow. Rolling him through it. Oh, my God.
Went for the roundhouse kick, but Slick Nick caught him with the enziguri kick. Now Slick Nick has him hooked. Looks like he's going to go for a suplex here. No, a reversal by Matt into the Falcon Arrow. Hooks the leg, wrenches it in, and cannot put him away.
Oh, and you saw that extra effort there, Larry. He was pulling and torquing on that leg, trying to add a little bit more leverage to that pin, and you see him arguing with the referee. This is that frustration you were talking about, Larry. It's as if this is a different Matt Jackson altogether.
It's one thing to argue with the official, but at the same time, do it on your own time and stay on top of the matchup, because now look at this. Well, I was just about to say the momentum went back into Nick's favor. Look at this, Mac now has him hooked, and now look at this. This is going to be it. This is going to be it right here. He hooks the leg. I've seen it. Oh, I have seen Matt put away a number of wrestlers with that move, and so has Nick. And somehow Nick managed to muscle up, managed to dig in deep to find that last bit of energy to kick out.
And you saw the face of Matt Jackson there a minute ago, thoroughly frustrated, wondering what he's got to do to pin his younger brother here, what he's got to do to lock up the #1 contendership. And well, look at this. Nick Jackson just threw his brother on the top rope with a step-up enziguri. He has just knocked Matt Jackson crazy. He's knocked him senseless.
This is the perfect position right now for Nick Jackson, as Nick is capitalizing here. His scissors off the top rope.
Matt Jackson is still reeling, and look at this, going for it, and he hits it! He hits that tornado DDT, Larry! This is just about it! Rolling over, go for the cover, hook of the leg, 1, 2, oh no!
How did Matt manage to kick out of this tornado DDT? You have to wonder what's going on in the head of Slick Nick. We've seen Slick Nick utilize this tornado DDT many of times. He has put away numerous wrestlers, and his older brother managed to find a way to kick out before the 3. I can't get over the agility, the abilities of these two. They have definitely are tournament tested and tournament ready as we see them now. Look at this, Nick knocking down Matt. The stamina that these individuals have been going through is tremendous. Look at this, going for the quebrada moonsault. But Matt had the arms up. Matt had the knees up, and now it looks like he's going for worst case scenario.
Matt Jackson hits the worst case scenario. Hook of the leg, 2. No!
That was 3.
No!
That was 3.
No, the referee saying it was 2. He could stop his own momentum, Larry.
He is saying that was only 2. I cannot believe it. Neither can Matt. I've seen Matt win championships by nailing that worst case scenario.
I mean, I heard him, Larry. He went down for that, but he said that Nick Jackson picked up his shoulder before his hand hit the mat, and he wasn't able to stop his momentum. But Matt Jackson says, you know what? If that's not going to do it, then this This is gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna win this match.
He's taking too much time to do whatever it is he's gonna do. As we see him climbing up to the top rope, Nick quickly gets back up onto his feet and takes him down with a Huracan run off the top rope.
I don't know how either one of these men has anything left. Look at this. Oh my goodness, Larry. I'm getting exhausted just calling this match. How did they have anything left in the tank?
Oh my God, I thought this was going to be it. Nick was going to force the tiebreaker situation. He was just literally an inch away for Christopher Lee's hand to go down and make the 3 count. And now he's going back up onto the top rope. And this has been working for him throughout this matchup.
Well, look at that. Look like he's going for a senton, but rolled through it after he missed his target. Look at this. Oh, no! Oh, my God!
Running Liger bomb into the corner, and he spears him out of his boots, turning him inside out and upside down. And he can't put him away.
Oh, and Matt Jackson has just about had it. He has no idea what's left. How many more weapons does he have in his arsenal, Larry?
I've seen him go for literally everything in the arsenal both the Young Bucks have. And a few moves that I've never even seen them before to ever come out of the Young Bucks. And they are literally pulling everything out of their hat. They're going deep into their arsenal to find something, to find a way to put down the other. And they have not been able to find the right combination. But Nick might have found it with that German suplex.
Look at that nice bridge, Larry. Oh, but only giving a 2 count.
That still was not enough.
No, you know, you're absolutely right, Larry. I mean, that is how much the EWF Heavyweight Championship means to not only these men, but to men all over the world. Everybody wants to come here. I mean, we just saw a new Australian come here. Jack Bonds are coming here because he heard about the EWF. I mean, these guys are fighting tooth and nail, leaving nothing to chance. Look at them, trading shots in the middle of the ring, all for a shot at that EWF Heavyweight Championship.
Here comes the worst case scenario once again. No, it's reversed by Nick. Applies that full Nelson, but a reversal by Matt. Another reversal, victory roll, hooks him 1, 2, 3. He did it, Larry, he did it! He's out of Lalo! Slick Nick just forced himself into a tiebreaker situation. It is official now. Slick Nick leads away this matchup. 2-1. Matt Jackson leaves. 2-1. We are now forced into a tiebreaker situation. We got to find out more information on this because we got to get this solved and we got to get it solved fast before we can find out who truly will be our #1 contender for that heavyweight championship. It is going to be what half of the Young Bucks. It's either going to be Slick Nick or it's going to be Mr. Instant Replay Matt Jackson.
Well, that's right, Larry. You know what? We're going to have to talk to somebody here and get the word and get that official word.
This is a rematch that I know the fans of the EWF have been waiting ever since our last event, ever since Holiday Fear, when we had the finals for the Inland Title Series.
You know what, Lalo? I have to say I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, Lalo, it's all right. Lalo's coming up right now.
Don't worry about it.
But again, these two great young athletes, the Young Bucks, they tore the place apart the last time they were here at the Knights of Columbus Hall, and they plan on doing that again, especially because it is all or nothing here. The winner in this matchup is going to be guaranteed a shot at the Heavyweight Championship.
Well, that's right, Larry. I mean, you're talking about tearing the roof off the place. That was a definite Match of the Year candidate in my book, Larry. I don't know about you and how your opinion goes. Definitely one of the matches of the year, one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Larry's opinion doesn't matter, Lalo.
Oh.
Did you figure that out yet?
Well, I like to think that my partner has something to say every now and again.
I like to think that too.
Yeah.
You guys, what is this?
What is what?
You guys joining forces over there, huh?
We're working together for what, almost over a year now?
Pretty much, yeah, going on a year.
Really, huh?
Well, United Forces is going to be coming in a couple of days.
Well, you know, speaking of United Forces,
and please, you don't remind me that.
I'm just saying, speaking of United Forces, the Young Bucks are opponents now, but they have to team together along with Liger Rivera in a big 6-man tag match at United Forces. But that's for another day, another time. Right now, we're worried about the Inland Title Series. We're worried about the here and now. Both of these men finished 2-1 in the ITS, and the winner, like you say, Larry, takes the whole thing today.
And we've all seen the great success the winner of the ITS tournament has seen out of all of our past winners. Joey Harder and Brandon Gatson won the round robin series and became the heavyweight champion shortly afterwards.
You know, you mentioning Joey Harder, that brings up I don't know if you remember this, Joey Harder was a tag team champion when he won the Inland Title Series, and look at what happened to him. Look what happened to that team.
Oh, that is definitely true. The Inland Title Series broke that team up. Essentially, this could happen here as well with the Young Bucks.
I guess we'll find out if blood is truly thicker than water.
We are definitely going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will, and of course, the Young Bucks, one of the greatest tag teams in professional wrestling today, traveling all over the world together. And you know, Larry, me and you said this at the last show. I mean, these guys travel together, they eat together, they stay in the same hotels together, they wrestle, they train together, everything together. And here they are, again, going hold for hold and move for move, just like last time, Larry.
Well, again, they know each other like the back of their hands, so you got to believe they're thinking at least 2 steps ahead of each other, and it's going to be difficult for them to try to get one single amount of offense, as we see a series of exchanges here. Waistlock takedown by Matt, trying to float over, but Nick quickly reversing, and Matt reversing. Again, they're just going back and forth because they know each other so well.
And you hear the crowd roaring and applause and approval. I mean, that was just amazing. Amazing technical wrestling, amazing catch-as-catch-can wrestling. And like you said, this is going to be a chess match, Larry. The winner is going to be 10 moves ahead of the other and wait for that one big mistake. And that's all it took last time. Matt took his eye off the ball for a moment, and Nick rolled him up 1, 2, 3, and now we're in this situation.
Oh, that is true. All they need is one opportunity. All you need is 3 seconds to get a victory. And that is something Matt desperately needs to get. He thought he had his match won last time. He thought he had a coast, and he could have clinched his shot at the heavyweight championship, but Nick, out of nowhere, came out and became the man on top.
And right now, the man on top with that nice top wrist lock applied. Wait a second, though. Matt bridging himself and now working his way back up, and now putting Nick down across his knee, now straight onto the mat.
And now is Nick, well, no, wait a minute. Nick's not going to manage to escape from that exchange, but he will from this. Look at his Hurricane Rana. Hurricane Rana from out of nowhere, and that forced Matt out at ringside.
You see Matt thoroughly frustrated already right at the get-go of this match. I mean, this is what the frustration that cost him the match last time, Larry. He was just, he had nothing left. He had no other offense to go to in order to try to put his brother away. And right now, that frustration is setting in early. I think that might be the momentum that Nick Jackson is carrying over from the last match.
Well, all the momentum is on the side of Nick Jackson because he has already proven himself to be able to beat Matt. Matt now has to be the one to force himself to prove to not only himself but to the fans as well that he can beat Slick Nick, his younger brother. He tried to do it right there, but we have a kick out, leg trip, and another cover, and another kick out. Look at this, a drop kick. Both men have the right idea. As you can see, again, they're thinking exactly the same thing at the exact same time.
It's like you two almost. You two are like the Young Bucks of announcing, except you're just, you know,
Bolder?
Yeah, larger.
Oh, I'll give him that.
Compliment, I think.
I'll give him that.
I mean, if the Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world, hey, we're the best pair of announcers in the world, Larry.
Hey, I'll take that compliment. I'll take any compliment I can get from Dan the Man because he doesn't give them out that often.
You're just equally as bad. You know what I mean? As each other.
Oh, thank you for just ruining all that now.
They're both so good. They're equally matched. You two are just so bad, but yet you're equally matched. You know what I'm saying? You kind of look alike too.
Well, nothing bad about the brothers, the Jackson brothers here. As you see a shoulder tackle and now a leapfrog. Now look at them rolling over through the open legs of Nick Jackson. And now a springboard arm drag sending Matt Jackson to the outside.
And this was the momentum that Nick was having throughout his entire matchup the last time these two wrestled. And again, we're seeing signs of frustration from Matt once again. He cannot get over that he cannot amount a single amount of offense against his younger brother Nick at this point.
Well, you see him kicking the ring steps, taking it all the time he can in order to collect his thoughts, in order to get his focus back. Oh, look at this now, just shoving his younger brother though, but not being one to back down, shoving them back. And look at this,
backslide! Gets a 2 count, try to go after him, got caught with a drop toe hold. Lamahe scroll cover coming up here. 1, 2. And Justin Morgan said that was only a 2.
Oh, look at Nick now, though, right now. All the momentum again in his favor. And he's letting Matt up. I don't know if that's a smart move, though.
And Matt meeting him with an open hand strike right across the face.
I think we got a fight on our hands now.
We have a fight. We're going to have a fight at the way things are going for Matt. Matt getting so frustrated that he cannot get, again, I've been saying this before, that he can't cleanly put him away. He may have to resort to some other tactics.
Yeah, but you know what? He's got to be careful, though, because a disqualification means that's the end of his Inland Title Series, and Nick Jackson will walk away with the win. Right now, Nick Jackson looks like he doesn't need a disqualification win though. Look at this! Putting it right up from the top!
Matt, wait a minute, this time Nick Jackson followed up after him. Matt thought he was able to duck away from Nick after going out of ringside.
Giving Matt Jackson absolutely not even a second to breathe or to even think who goes right after him.
He had to do it. He had to do that. Otherwise, Matt was just going to take another breather out of ringside and possibly kill some more momentum for Nick. Nick had the right idea going, and not only that, he completely caught Matt off guard on that. And again, that's part of thinking 2 steps, 3 steps ahead. Oh, but they were awfully close to being counted out there.
But how do you think ahead when you guys think alike? You know what I'm saying?
That's the difficult part between these two. That is probably why we're having so much frustration coming out of Matt, because he can't think that far ahead, because Nick may be thinking extra farther ahead.
I don't know the strategy right here of Nick Jackson. Why would he roll Matt back into the ring? You know, that standing 10 count, they're already at, what, 9 3/4? He could have won the match right then and there. I think he wants to prove a point, though, Larry. I think he wants to prove that he may be the younger Jackson, but that he's the better Jackson in the middle of that ring.
Well, definitely some people may say, oh, you beat me once, that was a fluke. And definitely if you could beat me a second time, there's no way in heck that was a fluke. Already, I'm going to say that was not a fluke, but in the minds of Matt, he's going to say, yeah, that was totally a fluke.
Paulo, are you trying to say he's trying to prove that he's the Michael of the Jacksons? Huh?
Wow.
You know where I'm going.
That was good. That was good.
I'm good.
I got to give you that
It's
one.
this monster I'm drinking.
Monsters are tasty.
Suddenly energy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, son.
Well,
I'm
Ryan,
good right now.
I'm glad.
I was a little slow in the first match.
You know, it's holiday season. It's my birthday today, as a matter of fact. It's a time for celebration. And right now, Nick Jackson looks like he's going to celebrate with a victory. Look at that. What would you even call that, Larry?
I would have to call that a inverted reverse cravat.
I would call it something neither of you two could do.
Not have to give him that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do it.
We'll have to wait and see. We can wait just 2 days. We'll wait in 2 days and see if you can.
Like I said, I don't even want to talk about it.
Big suplex by Slick Nick, taking down his older brother Matt once again, now going for the cover. Hooks the leg again and can't put him away.
But I am curious at United Forces to see how these two, team together after this, after whatever is going to happen tonight.
You know, a lot of people can think 2 days ahead and think about United Forces and see how well they're going to team up together. They're still tag team champions in other territories across the country and across the world. How are they going to manage to hold on to those tag team titles if they can't get their act together after this matchup tonight? That's a question I want to know. But I also want to know which one of these two is going to become the #1 contender to the heavyweight championship. And we're going to find out right a little bit later in this matchup.
Well, you saw Nick Jackson going for that patent, the Young Bucks handspring dropkick move that they both, it's a tandem move. You saw it had not having the same kind of impact as it does when one person does it. Matt Jackson able to kick out at a 2 count. But Nick Jackson staying right on top of Matt, like Kubrick said a minute ago, not giving him any room to breathe. Oh, and a nice arm breaker right across the shoulder blades. And now look at this, going for it again. Just wrenching and cracking that elbow joint right across the back.
Dropped him again and across the arm, now trying to switch it up here. We have a cross arm breaker and he's in the center of the ring. Matt is trying to alleviate the pressure again by trying to clasp his hands together. And Nick is fighting for it, fighting to get the hold secured. Oh, but in that exchange, he had to force the break. I think Matt had to rake the eyes of Nick in order to break the hold.
Well, Matt Jackson's going to do anything he possibly can, but like I told you earlier, he's got to be careful not to break the rules blatantly in front of that referee. And of course, Justin Borden always on top of the tier of the Empire Wrestling Federation. A disqualification would be deadly for Matt Jackson, as it would give the ITS win and the #1 contendership to Nick Jackson.
Well, it was a disqualification that cost Johnny Paradise a shot at the Inland Title Series. Again, I mean, his record was tied with Nick Jackson as of last week, but got himself disqualified against Jeremy Yeager. That virtually took him out of the running.
Definitely mathematically eliminated him, and then gave Nick Jackson the opportunity, as you see him trying to go for that Fujiwara armbar, trying to break the hold of his brother, and there he almost had it locked in, but his brother kicking him right across the head, breaking out of that hold.
Well, again, Matt had to desperately do whatever he could to break the hold. That arm has definitely suffered a lot of damage in this matchup, and the more times that Nick goes for that submission on that arm, it's going to be more fatal for him later on in this matchup. Again, going back to work this time with that variation of the top wrist lock, trying to wring out the arm. And again, in the standing position, Matt almost went down to one knee and is almost staying there. Oh, wait a minute, Nick now trying to go for some high-risk offense again, but Matt just shoved him off the top rope.
Oh, Nick Jackson going face first in that apron, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing there. The metal support beam of the ring that holds it up.
Oh no, I think there's a little bit of Nick Jackson's face on there right now.
Well, there very well might be after that impact. I mean, goodness, we could feel it reverberate all the way up here.
I think his teeth. I think I can see his teeth just laying there from here.
Oh, that's disgusting, Cobra.
Oh, another shot right across the face by Matt as Nick was trying to come in. And it's Matt who's going to take flight here. Drop kick right across, right through those ropes, knocking out his younger brother at ringside.
Oh, but you see him still favoring that left arm, Larry. I don't know that it was wise to go through those ropes and hold his weight up with that damaged arm. He might have hurt himself a little bit on that one, too.
Well, definitely that arm is going to be the new handicap in this matchup for Matt. And Matt is trying to work through that handicap, trying to work through that pain because, again, this is an all-or-nothing situation. He desperately needs to win in order to become the #1 contender for the heavyweight championship.
You know, I gotta be honest, I kind of feel bad for Matt Jackson.
You actually feel bad for
I
Matt?
feel bad for him. I mean, this is his brother, and what's his brother trying to do? Injure him. You know, Matt Jackson's having a wrestling match, and his brother's over there stomping on his arm and trying to break it. What is that, Larry?
Well,
they're brothers.
Yeah, but
nonetheless, they're brothers.
Nonetheless, they're brothers. That is true. But again, Matt was using some illegal tactics, if you will. They were having a nice, clean wrestling contest until Matt had to go and slap him across the face, trying to wake him up and say, "Hey, I'm not going to tolerate this from you." All Nick is doing is fighting back. All Nick is saying is, "I'm not intimidated by you, older brother or not, tag team partner or
So he
not."
tries to break his arm?
Well, Matt could try to break the arm as well.
Oh, Matt didn't, did he?
No, he hasn't had a
There
chance
you
to
go,
go.
because that's his brother, and he wouldn't do that.
Well, he hasn't had a chance to do that yet.
No, it's upsetting me a little bit.
And those forearm shots are upsetting Nick, that's for sure. Oh, wait a minute, drop kick! Follows up with a spinning wheel kick. This matchup is definitely upsetting Mama and Papa Jackson, and we have a cover and a 2 count. Nick,
That's the other thing.
Well, they see Nick Jackson now trying to get the crowd involved, going up to the top. Oh! Matt Jackson holding his boot up and Nick going face first into it. There's a cover, hook of the leg. Only a 2 count though.
definitely wasn't enough to put him away, but it was definitely enough to make him groggy, dazed, and confused, and now Matt has to capitalize. He has a chance to capitalize. He has a chance to try to break his arm, Dan Cobra.
Yeah, but he's not.
We'll have to wait and see.
There you go.
We have to wait and see. And right now, Nick is in trouble as he's trying to get some air back into his lungs. Matt trying to stay on top of him so he can't get some air into those lungs. Sends him into the corner. Sends him hard as we just saw him fly out of that corner and back onto the ground. What great impact he suffered in that corner. Matt now trying to climb up to the middle ropes there. I don't think that's a wise decision on his part. He's taking too much time allowing Nick to get back up onto his feet. He needs to stay on top of Nick. Matt measuring him here, nails him with an elbow right across the back of the neck. Now goes for the cover, hooks the leg, 1, 2. Gets a 2 count off that elbow.
Well, now look at Matt Jackson. Oh, come on, we saw this last time. Look at that, playing those mind games with his
It's
brother.
just as funny this time as it was last time.
That's just sick.
I don't see how you can think that's funny. I don't think that's funny.
You got no sense of humor, clearly.
Oh, look at Nick Jackson.
Now that's not funny.
Playing a choke of his own on his brother.
Holy crap! Tope con heel over the top rope onto the floor again by Nick Jackson, taking out his brother Matt.
I think they may have gave a heart attack to the lady in the front row.
I almost had a heart attack. I think Jesse almost had a heart attack on that one.
Are you kidding? Could you imagine the insurance costs if you would have hit the person in the front row? You know, Jesse and money.
That would have been an additional heart attack for Jesse. And somehow Nick manages to get back up onto his feet and throw his brother Matt back into the ring.
I gotta point out, he went for the arm again, Larry. I mean, this is totally unfair. That's not right.
Oh, he threw him back in by the arm. But now he's not going for the arm as he's climbing up to the top rope, trying to go for possibly that senton bomb, but could not connect. Matt now catching him, sets him up here, power bomb perhaps. Liger bomb in the corner again. He did this to his brother last last week, back at Holiday Fear, and he did it to him again here tonight.
Oh, come on, you're talking about not trying to injure your brother, Colbert? What do you think Matt did right there? He just tried to end his brother's career.
Oh, I'm sorry. When a man tries to break your arm multiple times, you gotta fight back. Wow.
Now it's acceptable.
Yeah, the man's defending himself. What do you want him to stand there?
I don't understand. No, I don't. Sometimes I don't get you.
I don't get you.
Well, right now, Justin Borden, the administrator of that standing 10 count, already up to 7. Matt Jackson on the verge of winning the Inland title series, unless Nick Jackson can get his way back into the ring, and he does at the very last possible moment. Oh, but Matt Jackson not giving him any time to breathe, just pouncing on his brother and stomping away. Now look at him pounding away with forearms and shots right to the kidneys, Larry.
Well, it's clear now. We see the point of attack by Matt Jackson. He has targeted the kidneys and the lower back area of Slick Nick, similar to the way Nick had targeted the arm of Matt earlier in this matchup. Matt's still trying to shake up the cobwebs, but feels that he has all the momentum now going in his favor. Snap mirrors him down and ties him back up here into the reverse chinlock. He needed that breather. And now at the same time of taking this breather for himself, he's taking the breath away from Nick. Has a chance now to think up some new strategy, some new moves, some new points of attack onto his younger brother Nick. And again, Nick trying to get back up onto his feet. Trying to alleviate that pressure, and he manages to do so. So far, he's halfway there. Throws an elbow, throws a second one into the midsection. Finally breaks a hole, comes off the ropes. But he got caught, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Matt now going for the cover, hooks the leg, and almost became the #1 contender.
You see Matt Jackson complaining. The referee, Justin Borden, he thought that was 3. It just about was 2, Larry. That tilt-a-whirl backbreaker almost killing Slick Nick Jackson. But look at this. Didn't kill his spirit as he's fighting back. Another knife-edge chop right across the chest.
Matt now trying to fight back, but Nick meeting him with every shot. A series of them now. Vicious chop by Matt.
You know, I got a question. Do these guys know who the heavyweight champion is?
I think they're very well aware that
Why would they be fighting this hard to get in the ring with a monster black metal?
because that is their competitive spirit.
They don't care who the champion is.
That's what it is.
No, Colbert, they don't care who the champion is. All they care about is that prestigious title. You've held it before. You know what it means to a professional wrestler to become the EWF heavyweight champion. And you see Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson fighting tooth and nail to become just the #1 contender for that title. And we almost saw Matt Jackson become the #1 contender.
Matt now picks him right back up, drops him down again in another backbreaker. And now look at this, grinding the elbow in, it looks like into the throat of Nick Jackson.
That's a choke if that's where it's at, Larry. Oh, it must not be though. Justin Borden saying that it's legal. Oh, that's not legal. They're pulling the hair. Nick Jackson doing everything he can to try to get out of this hole, and you hear Matt just pounding away on his ribs and his stomach. Oh, come on now.
Come on now, the guy was pulling his freaking hair. What's wrong with you, Lalo?
So he rakes him in the eyes. That 2 wrongs
He
don't
was
make a right.
pulling his hair, Lalo. You know, Nick Jackson wants to fight like they're in kindergarten again. All right, this is a fight.
Well, these two brothers have been fighting since birth. You stole my G.I. Joe, so I'm going to break your Lego set. I mean, this goes back a long way, sibling rivalry, going back a lot of years, and now these two taking it to the ring here in the Empire Wrestling Federation.
You've known him for that long, Lalo?
Everybody has a younger sibling or an older sibling, and that's exactly how they are. Larry, I know you have younger brothers.
And we've had wars over G.I. Joes and Lego sets in the past.
Was it anything like this, Larry?
No, not quite. Did not quite happen in a 20 by 20 foot ring, that's for sure.
That'd have been interesting at Christmas, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes it was.
Imagine what kind of gifts these guys got each other for the next couple days.
Well, definitely my fight for Christmas was definitely different, but this is definitely the fight EWF is presenting before Christmas here for the #1 contendership for the heavyweight championship. Nick now coming off the ropes, but he got caught by Matt with a forearm. And another elbow, this time by Nick. Nick coming charging off the ropes. Wait a minute, could he see? Oh my God! I thought we were gonna see the worst case scenario. Instead, he floors him with that ace crusher.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the worst case scenario.
It was a worst case scenario for Matt.
Exactly.
But look at this, no one can go for the cover. They've spent so much energy trying to get this going for... And we're already at 5 now on the standing 10 count from Justin Borden. Both men again struggling to get back up to their feet. It looks like it's going to be Matt to his feet first. Try to go for a clothesline. Nick meets him. Vicious shot again across the face. Throws him back into those ropes one more time. Knocks him down with a clothesline. Follows it up with a back elbow. Brings him right back up. And knocks him down with the enziguri. Oh, wait a minute. Double underhook here. Will this be over? Tiger driver. 1, 2. Oh! Almost put him away with that Tiger driver. He was about a hair's length away from becoming the #1 contender.
Well, they see now a hard Irish rip into the corner. Oh, look at this, Matt Jackson getting the wherewithal to put up an elbow. Now leapfrogging over his brother, going for that cutter again. Nick Jackson
trying to go for the tornado DDT, didn't quite get him the way he wanted. Leapfrogs over him. Oh my God, kicks him right across the face.
Almost a knee to the side of the head, but look at Nick, still out of it.
Well, Matt Jackson completely out of it, almost knocked unconscious with that knee right to the temple. Nick Jackson has to get to the top rope and take advantage of this. And you see him trying to climb up there. Wait a second!
He took too much time to get back up there. Matt possibly playing a little bit of possum to get him right where he wants him here for the superplex. Nick trying to fight out of it though, trying to knock him off. Headbutt, and that will do it. Matt now is planned perfectly for Nick and the 450 splash. If he can nail it here, changes it up into a body press splash. 1, 2.
Oh, wow.
I thought he had it right there. I thought he had it.
Well, Nick Jackson usually trying to hit that 450 splash from up there, changing it up though, literally spinning 180 degrees in the air, and then hitting his brother with that splash. Oh!
Nails him with a kick, but look at this, Nick charging off the ropes again, and he just got speared by his older brother. Hooks the leg for the cover. Gets a 2 count again.
Oh, how much more do these guys got left? I mean, they fought a war last time. I mean, this is, if that was World War I, this is definitely World War II, Larry.
What is there left? I mean, what possibly could they do?
I think Matt may be setting up. I thought he was going to set up for the worst case scenario. He hasn't applied his yet to Nick. Charging after him in the corner. Nick throws him over. Nick nails him with a drop kick. And that sends Matt up on the apron, but he's back up onto the apron now.
Keeps coming.
Oh my God, can we see a powerbomb here? No, Matt counters. Went for the leg drop. Landed on nothing but ring apron, and he just got his face kicked right into him. Nick with a Yakuza kick. I gotta believe he may have broken the nose of Matt Jackson.
If that's the least of what he might have done, Nick Jackson might have just damn near killed his brother.
Going back up to the top rope again. 450 splash, there it is. Hooks the leg. We're gonna have a new #1. No, we're not having it yet.
What in the hell does Nick Jackson have to do? Nah, screw that. What the hell do these guys gotta do to finish this match, period, Larry?
Nick is now showing signs of frustration. The same frustration Matt was having in their last match back at Holiday Fear. I do not like the way things are going for Nick now. Nick needs to keep his cool if he wants to become the #1 contender.
I don't like how things look for either one of these guys, Larry. What? They might be leaving. This could be career-threatening. Do you see what they're doing to each other?
They're beating the holy hell out of each other.
And they have to compete in 2 days with each other.
I don't know how that's going to be possible. I don't know how, not only mentally, but how are they physically going to be able to do that?
Oh, super kick out of nowhere by... Hey, wait a minute, Nick with a super kick of his own.
And they're both down, Larry.
I think they just knocked each other out. Nick just had barely enough energy to nail that super kick before he fell down.
It was almost out of instinct that he did that, Larry. Like a nervous reaction or a muscle reflex, if anything.
And they were trying to literally match each other move for move in that exchange. Look at this, they're back up onto their feet now. And now they're trading forearms with each other in the center of the ring. Oh! Clocked him with that one, but Matt's saying, that's it for you. After a series of forearm shots, charges after him, got caught with a back elbow. Nick going back to the ropes again. We've seen this before. Slingshots into the face crusher. Got caught into the Boston Crab.
Look at Matt Jackson walking him into the center of that ring, Larry. He's got it cinched in tight. Look at him, he's got all his weight put back. He's He's got that Boston Crab locked in tight in the middle of that ring. Justin Borden right on top of things. Nick is gonna tap, Larry, he's gonna tap.
Very smart by Matt Jackson. The impact moves haven't been helping, so he slaps on a submission.
Oh, wait a minute. That submission should be break, but Matt's still holding on for dear life. Nick misses the clothesline. Nick gets caught here. Worst case scenario coming up here. He just got planted. This will be a 1, 2.
Oh my God!
I thought that was 3. That was a 3.
Apparently not. Justin Borden saying no, that was only 2. How that was only 2, I have no idea.
And he's going back to the Boston Crab. He's gone back to the Boston Crab. The worst case scenario did not work for him, but this Boston Crab could.
Oh, look at the pain in the eyes of Nick Jackson. He is in excruciating pain. His brother is just, wait a second, no. He's trying to roll him back over.
He managed to roll him over. Now goes for the cover, flips over. With the bridge, but man now breaking the bridge. Going into the backside for another cover. We have 2. And a kick out again. Nick missing a clothesline. Gets caught, but lands on his feet out of the backdrop suplex. Here comes the Boston Crab one more time. Has it cinched in for a 3rd time.
Oh, this has got to be it, Larry. Who was ever putting 3 Boston Crabs in one match for the length that Nick Jackson has been putting them and being able to walk away, period. Not just the winner or loser, but period.
I've seen matches where people are just putting the Boston Crab once and the match is over. Now, wait a minute.
Still fighting back.
They're still fighting back. Nick now floating over. Got caught with a power bomb by his brother Matt. Gets a 2 count. And one more time. Trying to hook in that Boston Crab.
Well, Matt Jackson has a variation of it, but look at how much higher up he's sitting. It's almost as if he's sitting on his shoulder blades. Larry, God, that cannot be comfortable. It's got to be one of the most painful things ever. And look at that. Now cinching in that single leg crab.
Well, he felt he didn't have quite a great grip on that Boston Crab earlier, so instead switches it up to a grip he has. Look at this, he has the arm that Nick was trying to use to reach for the ropes.
I think we have a winner, Larry.
Oh, it's almost academic now. There's no way that he can get out of this. He can't reach the ropes. He is tied up as like a pretzel, Larry.
I think we have an Inland Title Series winner, Lalo.
You know, I usually don't make those kind of calls until I hear the bell, but I think you're right. I think it's just a matter of time now until Matt's declared the winner.
Nick's not over yet. He still has 1 arm left. He can still reach. He has to crawl his way to those ropes if he wants to break this hold.
He's not going to make it, Larry. It is over.
Justin Borden right there to check to see if he wants to give it up. Oh, no.
Oh, Matt Jackson relinquishing the hold of that arm and then wrenching him back into the middle of the ring. Come on, Nick. You know you want it. Come on, don't give up.
Don't give up, Lalo. You out of your freaking mind? He's going to tear this man in half if he doesn't give up.
Oh, come on, though. That EWF Heavyweight Championship is more than enough motivation to keep fighting. Look at Nick. He is still fighting. He is still clawing. He is trying. Look at this. Matt Jackson now exhausting himself with that Boston Crab.
Wait a minute, what just happened? The bell just rang?
The bell rang.
Did we have a submission out of that?
No, I think
Well, Lalo just left the broadcast position to go check with the official. I didn't see a submission or a tap out, did you?
he definitely let go before the bell rang.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, the match went the full 20-minute time limit. This match ruled a draw.
what?
Therefore, the Inland Title Series remains tied. Their records now stand: Matt Jackson 2-1-1 and Nick Jackson 2-1-1.
Wait a minute. They went the full extent of the time limit. They went to the full extent of the time limit. I'm just being informed that it was a 30-minute time limit.
This family may be officially torn apart. I mean, 2 matches. They've done everything they possibly can do to each other, and it's still not solved. We don't have a winner.
This is definitely a first. We have never had a situation where we haven't had but we had the tie still happen after the tiebreaker match. I'm amazed he'd be able to talk after going that time
As
limit.
you can see, he barely can.
That for a tie?
Honorable minutes. A draw. We tie at the end.
That's okay.
Just like at home when we play one-on-one basketball. Just like when we play racquetball. And now it's carried on to professional wrestling for the Inland Title Series. You know, Nick, in the beginning of this, we shook hands. We said that no matter what happens, in the end, we'll still be brothers. And not just brothers, but we might be the best tag team in the world right now.
Definitely, they have a lot of credentials to prove that point.
After wrestling my baby brother 2 weeks in a row, all I've got to say is I've got nothing but respect for you.
That still doesn't solve the problem, though, Larry. We have a tie.
That doesn't solve the problem, but what it does show is that blood is thicker than water.
But as far as I'm concerned, we deserve a title shot.
I definitely would have to agree with them, the effort that they've put into not only this match, but their last match against each
I have a
other.
better idea.
But it's winner
You
take all.
mentioned that we are a great tag team. And we are both winners here in the Inland Empire Series title shots. Why don't myself, Nick Jackson, and my brother Matt Jackson face the EWF Tag Team Champions and put our win in this tournament on that title? You heard him. Whoever wins the main event tag team ladder match tonight, you're gonna have to answer to the Young Bucks.
Oh, can they do that?
I don't think they have the authority to do that. Jesse has that authority.
That's definitely history in the making.
If we got permission from the man right here, Jesse Hernandez.
Well, there he is. We're going to find out if we can make this legal.
You have it. You will face the winners of tonight's ladder match.
They traded in the heavyweight title shot for a tag team title shot.
Well, at this point, this seems to be favoring better for the Young Bucks.
It works out good for them. We don't have to have a third, even though I would have liked to see that. But I guess it's going to keep the family from absolutely dissolving.
Again, this is another way to prove that blood is thicker than water when it comes to the Young Bucks, and I'm glad to see that they're going to be able to still act as brothers after going through two vicious matchups that they just had.
Jesse Hernandez and
This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most anticipated tag team matchups of the year, and the year has just started. This is how EWF is breaking in the new year. We could have new EWF tag team champions by the end of this night, at least according to the guarantee of the Young Bucks. Of course, famous for Fearless, they're definitely going to want to say otherwise, since they have been undefeated since competing as a tag team in 2008. In fact, they were named 2008 Tag Team of the Year. So they have a real daunting task ahead of them as they go up against international superstars, the Young Bucks, who have held tag team championships virtually everywhere they have competed in. They are former AWS Tag Team Champions, current PWG Tag Team Champions. I mean, the list can go on for all their accolades in the tag team division. And they want to add the Empire Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships to that list of accolades. This, of course, started as an at the end of our recent Inland Title Series when both these men, the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, wrestled to a time limit draw in the tie-breaking round of the Inland Title Series. And that's when they decided, you know what? We can't find out who the better man is. So why don't we just band together and put a shot on the line for the tag team championships. First time ever unheard of in the Empire Wrestling Federation in the history of the Inland Title Series.
Well, sorry, Larry, it took me a minute to get up here. I just wanted to make sure we went over these notes properly. I mean, this is going to be a great match, Larry.
Oh, it definitely is. I had mentioned before that this has got to be one of the most anticipated tag team matchups of the year. This is, in many circles, in many arenas, this is a dream tag team matchup. And we have it here for you. First time in the EWF, first time ever in a professional wrestling ring. And EWF is proud to have it.
Well, that's right. Well, the team of Famous and Fearless putting up much more than just their undefeated streak, Larry. They're also putting up those EWF tag team titles. I mean, they have a lot to lose, and the Young Bucks have everything to gain.
Right now, Nick now is starting things off with TJ Perkins. And already it looks like TJ may be trying to play a little mind games, trying to get into the head of Nick Jackson. As we see it test his strength now. TJ Perkins trying to, well, wait a minute, he's trying to find his proper positioning, but Nick Jackson gonna show otherwise. Look at this, knocks him down, beautiful shoulder block. Now locks in the side headlock. Look at this, throws him over his shoulder. TJ now being sent to the ropes by Nick. Nick missing the clothesline, slides underneath Nick Jackson. TJ now trying to take him down, cross arm breaker, Juji Katami style. And Nick Jackson reversing it, breaking the hold. There's a kip up and a stalemate already in the early goings of this contest.
Well, you hear the crowd applauding in approval, Larry. I mean, this is going to be a great match. Already not even 1 minute into this match. And this is what we have. I mean, these guys must have studied a massive amount of tape in order to get down the styling of each other. As you see now, TJ Perkins pushing off Nick Jackson into the corner. And Nick taking him down with a beautiful arm drag.
Winding up under the arm now. Matt Jackson tagging himself in. Drops the double axe handle onto the arm. TJ trying to roll through, trying to break the hold out of the arm. Look at this, they're going literally 100 miles an hour. Non-stop action here for you. Courtesy of Famous for Fearless and the Young Bucks. Tag into Nick Jackson. Moonsaults onto the arm. Onto Liger Rivera. But look at this, Liger now reversing on the arm. And the Young Bucks are trying to make quick tags. But TJ coming in, holding on, saving on to Liger Rivera. Using Liger Rivera as a battering ram. And now it looks like Famous for Fearless are going to do a double team on Nick Jackson. Nick holding onto the ropes, flips over, sends TJ Perkins up and over. Now it's Matt Jackson coming in. Reversal by Liger Rivera. Alley-oop drop kick by the Young Bucks. Knocking down Liger Rivera, who looks to be already hurt. I think he may have separated his shoulder on that drop kick. Already wounded. And now look at this double hip toss. The back follow-up. Try to go for the drop kicks. There, they nailed a pair of drop kicks on Liger Rivera. But then again, so did TJ. TJ coming off the ropes. A leg trip by Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson, springboard moonsault. Is he the legal man? According to Justin Borden, he is, and he gets a 2 count.
Well, the action fast and furious, Larry. I don't know how we're going to keep up with this match. We still have 2 more matches after this.
Look at this, another double team by the Young Bucks, sending Matt in, but Matt got caught by TJ. TJ ducks under, slick Nick. Now here comes Liger Rivera, flying cross body. Got caught by both the Young Bucks. Went for the drop kick, but TJ missed the drop kick and nailed his partner inadvertently with a senton.
The Young Bucks firmly in control here, Larry. I mean, right on top of things, have Famous for Fearless scouted out perfectly.
Look at this, here comes the double team again. TJ held himself up. Nick fell for it, fell through the ropes. Matt did not, but Matt got caught. Inverted atomic drop by Liger, and a drop kick nailing him into the corner. Drop toe hold on to Nick Jackson as he was trying to come in. And look at this, the show don't fear by Liger Rivera.
Using Nick Jackson and TJ Perkins as a big step stool, and now it ends a grab by TJ on Nick, hook of the leg. A cover only gets a 2 count.
Well, TJ Perkins may have thought he has scouted the Young Bucks, but it looks like the Young Bucks may have caught TJ by surprise, and now Famous for Fearless having to pull some new tricks out of their hat, if you will. Vicious headbutt by Liger Rivera now onto Nick Jackson. And you can hear the fans of the Knights of Columbus Hall actually siding for the Young Bucks. I'm not used to hearing that or seeing that, considering Famous for Fearless have always been considered the fan favorites in the Knights of Columbus Hall.
Well, that they have, Larry. Famous for Fearless on a tear through the EWF in 2008. Many called them the team to beat in the NWA. Of course, and now you see a cover and only a 2 count. Of course, they are the team to beat here in the EWF. but I mean, they were getting noticed by promotions all over the globe. Much like the Young Bucks, you see a tag now by Liger into TJ. Double Irish whip, drop toe hold, and now a senton by Liger Rivera onto Nick Jackson. And a double drop kick right across the skull.
TJ trying to go for the cover, but Matt coming in to make that save. Justin Borden making sure that he goes right back in, right back out of the ring, excuse me. TJ now setting up Nick Jackson right by those ropes, trying to go for that slingshot senton, and he connects with it big time. TJ now going for the cover, but this time still no hook of the leg, and cannot put away Slick Nick. We have seen Slick Nick and Matt Jackson go through hell and back again in the Inland Title Series, beating the holy hell out of each other. We know that Slick Nick can take a lot of punishment and keep on going, that is for sure. And it looks like Famous and Fearless is going to do whatever they can to deliver that punishment. Nice double team on the part of Famous and Fearless. Liger rolling Nick over for the cover and gets a 2 count.
Well, Liger Rivera now going to work on Nick Jackson. Big jumping knee strike right across the jaw. There's a hook of the leg and a cover, and only a 2 count. You see Liger Rivera hooking that outside leg for added leverage. Very technically sound on that. And now you see him now picking up Nick Jackson. Nick Jackson now trying to power his way into the corner, and he does, and there's a tag by Matt Jackson. Liger Rivera trying to fight his way out of that corner, but to no avail. Matt Jackson able to put a forearm right across the jaw.
Snap mirrors him down now, measures him here, comes off the ropes, nails him with a drop kick. Goes for a cover, no hook of the leg, and only gets a 2 count, but TJ was quick to come back into the ring. Liger Rivera managed to kick out before TJ could help his partner, but Matt Jackson now taking him over with a nice snap suplex, floats over for the cover, gets a 2 count again, and now look at this, caught TJ Perkins sleeping on the apron. TJ taking offense to that. Justin Borden now being distracted by TJ. And the Young Bucks now continuing the assault, continuing the double team onto Liger Rivera.
Well, TJ doing more harm than good for his teammate Liger Rivera, and the Young Bucks taking full advantage of that, keeping the tags crisp, keeping the fresh man in, and working over on Liger Rivera.
Look at this beautiful double team by the Young Bucks. That float over neck breaker that turned into a back breaker and gets a 2 count onto Liger Rivera.
Oh, ever so close to new EWF Tag Team Champions, Larry.
TJ Perkins, now look at this, he's up on the middle ropes trying to instruct some words of encouragement to Liger Rivera to get back into the corner to tag out. But Matt Jackson can do whatever he can to keep Liger Rivera away from TJ Perkins. And look at that, he's even given that guarantee to Justin Borden that they're going to win those belts. He made that guarantee earlier. And who knows if the offense keeps going the way that it is, Matt Jackson may be right. Liger Rivera, now look at this, Budokan run off the top rope. But Matt quickly tagging out to Nick, and Nick falls up with an elbow drop.
Well, beautiful move, but all for naught as he put him right into the corner of his brother Nick. And now Liger Rivera trying to make his way over to TJ Perkins, desperately needing a tag, Larry.
Liger was trying to reach for that, but Nick Jackson's going to be that roadblock in between TJ Perkins and Liger Rivera. Now I'm bringing him over in his corner, reaches out to tagging his brother Matt. Here comes some more double team courtesy of the Young Bucks. And this is a strategy that the Young Bucks have been using in their entire tag team career. This is why they are tag team champions literally everywhere they go. And they believe it's only a matter of time before they become tag team champions here in the EWF.
Well, I was just going to say, Larry, they just got themselves into the EWF recently. Oh, and look at that.
Taking him down now after that clothesline fall through to the headlock. Matt Jackson picking him up. Beautiful backdrop suplex. But tags into Nick Jackson. Nick now coming in just to stomp away on the Liger and keep him away from TJ. Hooks the leg. Gets the 2 count, try to put him away. Liger will not have anything to do with that.
Well, you see Nick Jackson out with a big clubbing forearm right across the back of Liger Rivera. And there's another tag into Matt Jackson. I mean, these are tag team specialists right here, Larry. They don't travel all over the world for nothing, taking on the best competition anywhere. Look at that.
Springboard dropkick managed to nail Nick, but Matt right there to pick up the fallen pieces. And again, there's some fallen pieces, but they're part of Matt Jackson, courtesy of that chin breaker by Liger Rivera. Liger Rivera now has a chance to tag out to TJ Perkins. desperately needs to reach out to TJ.
Well, TJ Perkins chomping at the bit to try to get the tag in. However, Nick Jackson right on top of things, getting Liger Rivera now with an Irish whip. Ducking under the clothesline is Liger, though, applying waistlock. Reversed by Nick Jackson now.
Nick Jackson trying to bring him away from those ropes. Matt coming through, charging through. Look at this. Matt was just set up and over the ring ropes. Landed hard on the apron, face first.
Well, here it goes, Liger Rivera setting up for that Chuck Norris backbreaker, spinning him around. Chuck Norris!
Liger, get out of there as fast as you can. You need to tag out to TJ Perkins if you want to hold on to those tag team championship.
If ever there was a chance for Liger Rivera to make the tag, this is it. This is going to save the tag titles.
Matt is practically laid out outside of the ring. Nick Jackson is laid out inside of the ring. And just important, giving a slow standing 10 count. Liger reaching. Wait a minute.
What?
He was reaching for TJ Perkins. And TJ Perkins just moved his hand away from Liger Rivera. What's going on? Look at this. Liger is reaching for the arm of TJ.
What is TJ doing?
TJ's backing off. What the hell is going on? What is going on? What's up with TJ? TJ is walking away from Liger Rivera.
Well, those of us who are privy to work in the back, I mean, Larry, we've seen them. We've seen them have disputes in the past. I mean, TJ blames Liger for losing that Heritage title. Well, now Liger's in on his own up against the Young Bucks. I mean, it's hard enough to take on one of the Jacksons, but I mean, one of the best tag duos in the world, Larry?
Well, I don't like Liger's chances in this 2-on-1 exchange, but look at his springboard dropkick, knocking out both members of the Young Bucks. Liger Rivera has singled out Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson is around ringside. Matt being sent into the opposite corner. Liger trying to fall through, but he got.
Oh my God!
Holy crap! With that super kick. And I think we're gonna have new tag team champions, Lalo.
Well, no, look at this. Liger Rivera fighting out. The more bang for your buck. Nick Jackson getting crushed.
Schoolboy, 1, 2. Oh. Did he? No, he didn't get him. Justin Bordy said it was 2. I thought he had the 3 on that Schoolboy. Oh no, wait a minute. Drops him, spikes him on that DDT.
Well, this is a good setup for that shock and awe that Liger likes to go for. That usually puts people away and wins in the matches.
Well, whatever he has to do, it's got to be all or nothing now. Trying to go for the shock and awe. Connects on to Matt Jackson. He could barely roll over to make the cover. Can't even hook the leg. And Nick Jackson just in time, barely to make the save.
Nick Jackson might have just saved this match for the Young Bucks with that breakup of that cover. Liger Rivera's put many people away with that shock and awe, and he looked like he was going to defend these titles on his own. And they see him sending Nick Jackson almost to the outside.
Nick Jackson managed to hold on to the ropes. Matt Jackson holds on to Liger. Look at this super face crusher coming in. Drops him in a backbreaker. Hooks the leg, 1, 2. We have new tag team champions, Lalo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of this match and the new EWF Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks have just become the new EWF Tag Team Champions. But I mean, TJ Perkins just left his tag team partner high and dry in this matchup.
Well, you know, there's going to be hell to pay for that later on, Larry, but right now, brand new EWF Tag Team Champions, Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks.